All right, we are live. Chris will be joining us shortly, so you guys are stuck with me for the meantime. Oh man, we got so much to talk about. So, how are y'all doing? First of all, out there in the chat, I see Jira Brown is in the building. I see Thomas is here. I see Warren, Miguel, Baba's in the building, and I see my brother Wheezy over there on the Rock fan side joining us nice and late. So definitely glad to see you all here. Oh man, got a jam-packed show. I actually got like tons of different stuff to talk about, but hopefully we'll see how much of it we could get into. Chris will be joining us a little bit late, but he will be joining us. He had a event going on and he's looking all extra Miami. So make sure y'all tease him about that. Um Kat says just left Frank analysis. How's it going? Kat, what was Franco talking about tonight? Curious. I saw that he was live. He's not typically live, so a lot of times I'll check to see what he might be talking about. Linda Ear. Let's see. So since I got so much stuff, I figure that I will get some of the newsy stuff out of the way. And then get more into the topics that me and Chris will discuss. Oh shoot, I need to switch accounts. Um, let's see. Yeah, I figure I will. Hold on, let me switch this real quick. There we go. And get this topic up. I mean, I haven't heard very many people talking about some of the stuff that I wanted to get into, so that's the reason why I figured I can at least bring it up. But first story I actually want to talk about um is where's that? Where's that? Where's that? And apologies if anything freezes up. You guys know I've been having problems with my sorry. Yeah, I had to mute it real quick because for some reason um the auto, I have to click my auto setting back off and it's just playing the videos, and with this new mic it automatically just plays right off the bat. Um about people waking up from politics and controlled opposition. Um I I think that people are being awakened on certain topics. I still think a lot of people are in the dark on a lot of stuff. I see John is in the building too. What's up, John? Hamza's in the building. He said, "Let's talk about Arab Zionists." Oh, I mean, I'm pretty sure that make you know what I'll do. I will star your comment, Hamza, so I'll remember to get into that when we get down to talking about stuff in that region. But I want to try to get in the habit of doing one topic at a time. I've been wanting to make shorts throughout the week, which I see a lot of other channels do, but since our conversations kind of go all over the place and we jump on this and then come back, it makes it kind of a nightmare to try to break apart our segments because they're all over the place. So I'm going to try to stick to one topic, say what we need to on that in that topic, and then move on to the next one. So I'll make sure to come back to that later on. So I'll start off with this first topic. For those who saw the thumbnail earlier in the day, you guys probably saw that I had Iceland originally on the thumbnail, and then I took it off because I wanted to add in the Ben Shapiro and Candace Owen, or as Amazing Lucas calls her, Kundis Owens. Um, Let me share this, and if you guys have not been paying attention or haven't heard anything about it, I definitely want to share this with you. Hold on, let's make it large, and then I will mute up so you guys can hear this.
The likelihood of a volcanic eruption remains high in Iceland as hundreds of earthquakes continue to be recorded. Sulfur dioxide gas was detected in the air in Grindavik, a sign of possible volcanic activity. The entire town evacuated. Folks left wondering when or what they'll come back to. Fox News correspondent Brian Yanis is live in Reykjavik. Brian, what's the latest there today?
Hi, Jane. Well, we've actually moved locations. We are right outside of Grindavik right now. There is a high probability still of a volcanic eruption, according to Iceland's meteorological office. Behind me, you'll see the signs with Grindavik striked out, as well as the world-famous Blue Lagoon. That is the world-famous tourist location that has puts Grindavik on the map. Those are closed right now. We're about 6 miles away from both because both are under the threat of a volcanic eruption. You'll see search and rescue and construction crews and trucks have been coming in and out of this security checkpoint all day here. We've spoken to people who were fully evacuated from Grindavik, 3,800 people who evacuated from the fishing town. And, people have been allowed to go in periodically, sometimes for just 10 minutes to get whatever personal belongings they can, in some cases like their paintings or their family photos.
I'm very scared and I don't know what's gonna happen. My house and everything. I've lived in my house for 40 years.
There are major infrastructures which are broken, so we're getting electricity on and off. And the landscape, it's here and there, but it's much, much better than I thought.
There have been 2,000 earthquakes in the last 24 hours, magnitude, though, of just one. So they have been small, but scientists say that this is all an indication that there could be a volcanic eruption. The damage in Grindavik is pretty substantial already because of these earthquakes, sinkholes, cracks in buildings and in people's homes. We are still waiting to see where and when this volcanic eruption is going to happen. It's about a 10-mile stretch of a magma tunnel that's running underground directly under the town of Grindavik. Seismic activity and the satellite data shows as of now that they believe the eruption will happen 6 miles north of Grindavik. That is good news in terms for the town. But again, that is just at this point a hypothesis. They do not know. We won't know, Jane, about an eruption for maybe 2 or 3 hours before said eruption happens. And we do know that Iceland has done everything they can to protect a geothermal power plant that is right next to Grindavik. They put up a defensive wall that also protects the Blue Lagoon area.
Yeah,
Jane.
I mean, the world awaiting, but of course, Iceland, Grindavik on high alert. Brian Yanis will continue to check in on the story there. Fox News correspondent Brian Yanis, thanks for.
All right, so yeah, that's that story. I wanted to share that because it just seems it seems like it's just a wild development. Um Hamza says, I don't think this is natural. Their government did it. I'm not in necessarily. Hey, Wesley, I see Wesley's in the building. I I lean more towards prophecy that I mean it said in the last days these things were going to happen, and I believe that this is the will of the Father being, demonstrated in the earth, and it's going to be more and more of that. Do I believe that? Do I believe that some of these governments do have the power to do some of these things? Oh, without a doubt. I just don't put as much faith that these people have control to control these different things to make them happen the way that some people might believe, because just my experience of dealing with some of these governments technology, it rarely ever works perfectly. I mean, majority of the time there's always hiccups and problems with it. So I'm not as the scriptures do say also, put your faith in no man. And so I don't put much faith in the belief that they can be able to do these things and control them. And the moment that they do, there's probably going to be cataclysmic failure. Can they manipulate things that might be starting to happen that they see? Yeah, but I mean, you do have an area where there's a super volcano that has been there and inactive. I mean, it's only, I mean, probability any of these major volcanoes, which are all over the world, at some point will probably have to have their point when they're going to go off. Um, it's the same thing that a lot of people worry about on the West Coast with Yellowstone. A lot of people have been like, okay, well, eventually, when Yellowstone goes, it is going to wreak havoc on the West Coast. And so that is definitely a fear which is in a lot of people's heads. Not to mention we already have the issues with the 10 freeway, um, which is near downtown LA, and it's kind of in a very inconvenient spot. It's been making traffic a little bit annoying, but they say that they should have it all together pretty soon. Let's see what else we got. Dubster is in the building. What's up, Dubster? Um, yeah, I agree, John. They can't move magma. Magma is once you start putting any kind of equipment down there, or I mean, if you were to move it, you could blow apart brick in certain area, with detonations, and could allow a triggering effect. That is very possible. I just I don't understand the motivation that they would have for making it happen. But like I say, I can be convinced. I don't rule anything out. And if somebody can show me the motivation that they would have for doing it, then okay, I can start, kind of going with it. Let's see. Damn the Blue Lagoons. I bet they're going to be bikinis. What are you talking about, Choosy? Um, Chris says Iceland regularly has volcanic problems. We are forgetting I don't know how to say that, and I'm not even going to try volcano eruption. I mean, I know, for instance, when I was in Italy, in Sicily, we were right next to Mount Etna, and it would kind of have its little spouts when it starts trying to go off, and it just hadn't went off yet. But the possibility of it going off was always there. I remember them evacuating certain areas, and not to mention, you go back, what centuries ago. What is it? Right there next to Naples, which is only maybe about mm, 45 minutes. Well, maybe well, depending on how long the ferry ride is. Probably about an hour from Sicily, where Pompeii, the ruins of Pompeii is. So, uh, Europe does have a history of volcanoes going off and destroying whole areas. And even if it doesn't go off, the damage which the earthquakes have already been doing to the cities is going to be, a lot of issues. Um, I'm good. And Dubster, I will definitely get into that one. I'm gonna star your comment for when we get onto that topic. Um, let's see, what else are y'all saying in the chat? By the way, I saw uh Thomas just recently did a pretty good video. I definitely enjoyed going into pretendians. I found very entertaining, and also a fact that I told him about. Well, I'm not saying I told him about, like, I gave him this information that he didn't know, or I don't know if he knew it or not, but talking about Hebrew Israelites and connections, showing the Syrian captivity and actual real evidence, which a lot of these people who say black people are indigenous to America do not have. So if you get the chance, make sure you go over and check out Thomas's video. And if you feel, make sure you drop that in the chat. Hamza says an hour and 10 minutes to Napoli. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that's right. Hamza's like a globe trotter. I wonder, like, what does Hamza actually do in the real world when he's not online? What does Hamza actually do? I've been like pondering. I'm like, Hamza either owns his own business and pretty successful and travels all around the world, or Hamza is older than I think he is. And he just does a lot of stuff, or just been a lot of places. Which I never asked. Hamza, how old are you? No, let's see. And then let's see, Yipper says, Marcus, your episode yesterday, The Leftovers from HBO, is an example. Yes, yes, it is. I take you caught Hebrew apologetics. For those who didn't catch it yesterday, I did Hebrew apologetics with Jose, and very talked about Christians and Christians being Zionists and why pretty much every Christian is a Zionist, whether they realize it or not. Teach wrestling. Oh, okay, cool. Let's see. And let's see. Oh, 40. Okay, we're roughly around the same age. Cool. That makes sense. Let's see. Let me check over to the Rocks fans, see what y'all saying over there. Cool. Got 5 in the building over there. Make yourself feel comfortable as soon as you come in, chat it up, whatever, drop any information in. I'm trying to give Chris a little bit more time before I move on to some of these other topics. I see Jira also has a poll on her Twitter or X account. So make sure you get the chance, hop in there and take her poll. It says people in Gaza and the West Bank are being slaughtered by, the National Socialists, aided by the U.S. troops who were in the area. Who in the area do you think might help? Please retweet. Syria, Iran, nobody or other. And my answer, which I will I don't know. I'll think about it before I actually answer, because I think that is a very good question. It all depends on how crazy things get. I think these Arab nations, they want to and don't want to at the same time. I think they want to. I think their people want to. The leaders don't really want to, and they realize that if they do, it's kind of like getting into a fight with somebody where even if you win, you're going to take a lot of damage. If you lose, you could face massive amounts of damage. And I think they're all trying to weigh out the cost and how much it's going to affect their own countries right now and long term. Possibly situations like another desert storm or something like that. They don't want to deal with, the United States and other countries being, heavily involved with even more troops for 20, 30 years. And I think that's a calculation. But if things keep going in the direction they're going and escalate and it hits a breaking point with their populations, I feel like they're going to be forced into doing something, whether they want to or not. Syria's fighting enough battles, and I think that they would be the likely one to see get involved. But I would actually throw Lebanon more likely in there, because they've already been having crossfire battles going on. So that would be the first person that I would look towards. So I would say Lebanon or nobody. The Houthis, they're doing a little bit, but I don't know how effective what the Houthis is. I don't know how effective the Houthis will be when it's all said and done. So I believe it all depends on escalation levels. Excuse me. If they continue on at the rate, slowly, methodically doing it, and just giving people outrage, there has to be some breaking point. If we never reach that breaking point, I don't feel like the pressure level will be turned up on any of the Arab nations to make them actually do anything. So that would be my guess. Yes, Turkey is definitely a wild card. Turkey at any point, and I honestly feel like Turkey is really. If Turkey got in, this thing escalates instantly and it gets crazy. Turkey is the strongest military in the region, and they can easily mobilize 2 million troops like it's nothing. Um, so, and then not to mention, some people say, oh, well, but they are tied to NATO. Well, maybe the Cat says maybe the people of Jordan. Yeah, but the people of Jordan couldn't do anything without weapons. And Jordan, they would literally have to coup their government to get Jordan involved. Jordan is not there. Jordan is one of those people where they've been bought into the West too much that they're a little too comfortable to lose, and they know that if they got involved, they're going to get just demolished. So Jordan, unless they see a joint kind of situation where you have Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, and you see all of them getting involved, and possibly Egypt, which Egypt and Jordan are in the same boat. They really don't have the power to really do much. I mean, you saw how long it took for them to pull their diplomats back. So I just don't see it when it comes to Jordan or Egypt. Definitely. It looks like Syria would, if they could, to at least get the heights back. Yeah, Syria's just not strong enough. That's the problem. Syria's just not strong enough. That's the reason why Turkey is dangerous, because they are part of NATO. That's what Kat says. Yes, and just because the power of their military, um, the power of their military and the numbers, and all of those other Arab nations would let them march straight across, um, and be right on the doorstep of Israel. And so you would be dealing with a definite, a ground invasion that could happen, and they would overwhelm Israel, which would force the other NATO members to get involved. And then we're looking at a World War III situation. So that's the reason why I think Turkey's a little bit hesitant. They know if they get involved, how fast things can escalate into a global war. Hamza says Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Kuwait, UAE, Bahrain are all Zionists. You could, I wouldn't necessarily say they're Zionists, but I would say that they are vassals to Zionist control, and they can't fight. They can't bite the hand that feeds them too much. Especially UAE, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia. You might as well say that they're part of the West. Um, they they're getting too much wealth off of Western nations, so they're just not going to do it. Does Turkey have nukes? Yes and no. Turkey has nukes within their borders through through NATO, but they don't have launch codes. They can't activate those nukes. And it would have to be an Article 5 situation where Turkey, they know, okay, you are definitely on the rest of the Western powers side, not on the Arab state side. But Pakistan has no problem with funding Turkey with nukes. Let's see. The countries who are pro-Palestinian in that region have no power. That's true. Let's see. And so I guess I can get into one of the next topics, because I don't know if you guys have seen what's been going on, and I'm just going to touch on the topic just a little bit. Talk about the Al-Shifa hospital. The Israelis this week have went into the hospital finally, and what they said was this massive command center. They've been able to turn up at max about 10 weapons, some grenades, some vests, some some what they would call a go bag. I mean, I honestly think that it's probably planted. They use excuses like, oh, well, you could tell that this is a Hamas area because the cameras are covered. Cameras could have been covered by a nurse and a doctor who were fooling around in that area. I mean, there's a gazillion reasons why cameras could be covered. Um, Also, the fact that they could believe that the Israelis could hack into their system. And so if you don't want the Israelis hacking into the system and just in general, then yeah, you might blot out the cameras. I mean, there's a gazillion reasons. There could even I won't even I won't even take away that okay, let's say that Hamas member was injured and they brought him in to try to save him because that would be the Hippocratic oath for doctors to try to save you no matter which country or which military you're aligned to. And if they felt like, oh, we're bringing in a Hamas fighter to save their life, Israel will take that as an excuse to be able to bomb us. So I could see various reasons why the cameras are down. What should be a red flag is that they claim that they knew emphatically that there was, that that they definitely that was like their command center, and the fact that they haven't showed anything even remotely close to that. I know the State Department tried to say, "Oh, it's like a node or a small thing." They haven't even shown anything like that. And the fact that you're in a war zone and 10 guns were found. Also, what's to say that let's say for instance the guns were in the hospital because I heard one of them say, "Oh, there's no reason the guns should be in the hospital." They are going through a war. You have sieges and famines. You don't think that random people who might decide that they want to rob the hospital, that could be there for that reason? You don't think dead soldiers could have died there and they've just taken the weapons and put them all in one area? I mean, there's so many reasons that the whole bag of guns thing is kind of ridiculous. Also, the fact of this is a Hamas vest that has Hamas on the front. I mean, come on. This is just stupid. Yes, injured patients arrive with guns too. I mean, it could have just been a random person who just has a gun who's not part of Hamas. In crazy situations like that, it brings out the worst in people, and you can have citizens within Gaza who just turn against each other. I heard a lady talking about having to literally fight for bread. You don't think in that situation that there might be people who are hoarding bread, doing all kind of things, and I mean, taking an opportunity to steal from each other, to take advantage of women, all kind of stuff is going on in that situation. So just because you found a couple of guns in a war zone, that's not a red flag. You got to show more than that, dude. But I also stay with I also think the goal is just to systematically destroy enough of Gaza so that it's unlivable. And so even if they say, "Oh, well, the war is over with," well, now they have no choice but to move them somewhere, and they'll say, "Oh, well, it's temporarily until we could kind of reestablish the infrastructure to make it hospitable again." And then all it will take is for something to happen, something happen. Oh, well, see, this is why we can't bring them back. And I honestly think this is what's going on. Yipper says there are police with guns in the hospital. Yes, there are so many scenarios that could explain 10 guns. And let's say let's give them the full benefit of the argument. Let's say they were Hamas's guns. 10 guns out of a hospital that what is it? They said with people sheltering there and patients and doctors without borders and all of this different stuff, tens of thousands of people. I mean, I know people who have more guns that were found in that hospital. I mean, this is just kind of like ridiculous. There are militias who are far more dangerous than that, and you're using basically a full-on military campaign with tanks and all that to take down what, a ragtag group of people. I mean, it just sounds stupid. It just sounds stupid. Altruist is in the building. I really believe that their goal is to just push them out, plain and simple. Um, I know that some people say, "Well, oh, not all Israelis think like some of the people who are in power." True, I get it, but the people who are in power kind of have ultimate power right now. So it doesn't matter if you have this other segment over here, and oh, we have a couple of Palestinians over here, and oh, we have a couple of Muslims over here. It doesn't matter if the most extremist faction has all the power. And right now, the Likud party has all the power. The Likud party is also, there's been rumors about trying to get Netanyahu out of there. And I think that if you see a situation where you're getting Netanyahu out of there, it is for one reason. They're going to try to end things, make him the scapegoat. Then once you say Netanyahu is the scapegoat, then you can try to say, oh, well, see, there's no reason why we can't reassume arrangements because it was just Netanyahu doing all that and we had no control over him. He was just kind of running haywire and he kind of forced our hand. And I know I said this crazy genocidal comment, but it was Netanyahu. He was the one who forced us to do this. He was the one who forced us to lie. I don't really believe that. And so that just sets up a situation, I mean, to push him out, and you would still have the Likud party in power. So I just I don't see good things at all with that situation. I see y'all talking about fentanyl in the chat. I don't know what's going on with that. Let's see. What did Choosy say here? Let me see. He said, let me explain this like a 6-year-old so you can see, understand how much in Roman sovereign immune and effed it up, and Netanyahu is Roman sovereign immune and effed it up. I don't know what you mean there, Choosy. Let's see. The IDF tried to pass off hospital basements as Hamas tunnels. It was pathetic false flag. They even tried to say an elevator shaft was part of it. They try to say, oh, well, see, these supplies are definitely, Hamas, but they have American writing on them. They also there was also busted, I think the BBC busted that they were saying, oh, well, see, this is a live uninterrupted feed. And they were able to zoom in on his watch and see that no, the feed, you guys obviously filmed this hours before you gave it to us. So how do we know it's not doctored? Yeah, the elevator shaft it was priceless. Let's see. I start a couple of oh yeah, Hamza said let's talk about Arab Zionists. I don't know how many Arab Zionists. I mean, I don't think that I mean, there are Christian Arabs, and some of them are Zionists. That is a fact. Um, so I mean, it just matters how many of them are actually um I, I don't know. I've been watching something interesting, and I didn't get the time to finish it up before I started the show. And hopefully I'll have time to like probably talk about it a little bit next week. I was watching an interview with the I guess the disposed prince of Iran. Very interesting, and listening to some of the stuff that his father was saying at the time. It sounds a whole lot like a lot of things that have been revelations to a lot of people right now. So definitely want to get into that. Let's see. Chris H says, I would agree. Not everyone is full circle waking up. They are only awaking to certain issues. I've seen pro-Palestine people tripping up over Ukraine. Yeah, people still don't get it on Ukraine. People are still confused on many issues. I feel like right now, if you're not seeing who has the power in this situation, I mean, I just heard about TikTok and Meta having to be literally stripping away what was it like uh something like 90% of any kind of commentary that that was having to do with Israel and Gaza. So how this Chinese company is being forced to bow down even. So who really has the power in this situation? Um, I don't know. I'm just saying. It looks like there's outsized power weighed on one side of this issue. Um, I saw somebody saying something about. Let's see. Jira says I was just tweeting with Chris Richards about how Israelis all have dual citizenship, so they can leave and give back the stolen land to Palestinians. I wonder what his take is on that. Because I was seeing Kim Iverson put something out about how that is a genocide going on, and some right wing account was saying, "Oh well, it's not a. You want to know what a genocide is? Look up World War II or read a book on World War II." And I'm like, but the what is it? The river to the sea. Um, Somehow Zionists have twisted that into uh you know you saying river to the sea will be free is a call for genocide. That's like being a slave and saying all slaves will be free is a call to kill the slave masters. It's not that's a lot of jumping, and I see that typically when dealing with Zionists. They extrapolate a whole lot and they decide what they believe other people are saying versus what's being said. And it makes perfect sense to me why. If you think about, especially say a religious Zionist, who is a follower of the Talmud is literally taking the Bible, the Torah, and deciding what you think somebody really meant, even on stuff which is plain upon tables. You're taking that and you're assuming, no, this is what they really mean. And so if your foundation, your cornerstone, your guiding point is a document that is all about making grandiose assumptions off of what you think somebody else is saying, it makes sense that you would go through the world automatically making assumptions on what you think everybody else means and never taking anybody's word on what they're actually saying. Therefore, a lot of times not listening to what's being said and already coming to a conclusion on what you think the matter actually is. So, I mean, that's the reason why. I mean, I was looking back at my debate with a Zionist and just some of the outlandish stuff that was said in that debate. Um, and I realized I did get I misspoke on a couple of things in there, but the stuff that when you're dealing with when you're dealing with the Israeli Zionists, the way that they twist things and come to their own conclusions. It's like the debate I saw with Mark Lamont Hill and the former I don't remember exactly what his position is, it's irrelevant. But anyway, he made the jump of you saying, well, I think that Palestinians have the right to be free. And he's like, and the ceasefire should happen. He's like, well, if you're saying the ceasefire should, or no, he asked about the bombing and killing of civilians. And he said, well, I think Israel has the right to defend themselves, but I don't agree with the killing of civilians. And he's like, well, you don't think Israel has the right to defend itself. And so if you don't feel Israel has the right to defend itself, then you support genocide. It's like, how did you jump so far to this definition over here? And also, why do you think that there is no other means of defending yourself than bombing whole entire buildings with civilians in there? I mean, and I hear people certain things which I had to really think about. Some of these Zionists will say, "Well, Israel's the most moral army, and they're the only ones who like knock on buildings before they bomb them." Well, here's the thing: you're fighting in such an oversized, lopsided manner that you literally control the area that they're in. You can control their resources, water, everything. So you do have the ability to be like, hey, get the hell out. We're gonna bomb this area. And it's not like they have tanks to shoot down your planes. There's really nothing they could do to stop you from bombing their building. So of course you can decide, oh well, we'll give a couple of taps across the building. And then these people all need to go fleeing down the stairs as fast as possible and hope that they can make it outside. Who cares if they're on dialysis? Who cares if they're in a wheelchair? Who cares? Who cares if they're hooked up to machines? Who cares if there's preemies and incubators? Just get the hell out in 2 minutes because I said so. And period. If you don't make it, boom, you're dead. So what? This thinking and this mentality, and I watched one of the guys. He was on with what's his name? Mehdi Hassan, and I guess he's what Netanyahu's press secretary or something like that. And he made he got him to ask the question I've been hoping that somebody would ask. He said, "So if Hamas was under a building in Israel, and he had made himself, they got their way under a building in Israel, would you bomb that building to get the Hamas target?" And I don't think that he caught it. I mean, because it's one of those fast exchange. But if you slow it down, if he would have been able to stop him right there, you just admitted that you would not do what you're doing over there. It was showing that you don't have a regard for civilians, or Palestinian civilians, because he said no, we wouldn't bomb the building. We'd send in special forces. You can't parachute special forces into these buildings and go after Hamas. And of course, we know the answer to that. I see Ambassador is in the building. What's up, Ambassador? So they also leave the eviction order before bulldozing others' houses down. I mean, most moral army is kind of tongue in cheek mocking because that's what they call themselves. I say that they're probably, out of the so-called first world countries, probably the only one that is allowed to flagrantly violate rules of engagement, violate rules of the Geneva Convention. They're the only country who just says, you know what? I don't care that there's one terrorist in there. I'll bomb the building and kill everybody. And there's no pushback. I mean, not like, at least America will get berated a little bit in the media. They'll get some bad press. Somebody's sitting in front of a committee getting yelled at. Even if nothing happens, there's some kind of pressure. Israel, they find a way to always defend them. Let's see. Did you watch the debate between Laura Loomer and Dave Smith? No, I didn't. Actually, if you have that, please send that to me. I've been trying to watch all this stuff, but it's a lot of information to try to keep up with these days. Chris H has agreed. If Hamas is using the Palestinians as human shields, why is the idea of carpet bombing the area? Isn't the IDF's responsibility to save the Palestinians from Hamas using more delicate means? That's right there exposing. They don't really. This is not what this is about. This isn't even about Hamas. This is not about Hamas. And I honestly believe the remnants of Hamas that they're finding in there are basically some of the younger people who are recruited in and told one thing, but doesn't know that the upper chain is completely in cahoots with with, I would say, the Israeli government, and that's the reason why most of their leaders are in Qatar. Most of their leaders are over in Qatar, and this is kind of an agreed upon thing that they're allowing to happen. Yeah, Human Shield is completely without merit. I see Ruby is in the building, and Chris should be in shortly. There was one, it could, if there was one, it could have an army, a judicial power, laws, and would be able to defend the evictions. Hamas is funded by Tel Aviv, exactly. Jimmy Dore did some recently, what does it say? Recently showing this is all about the oil under Gaza. Wondering if that's true. It's not oil. Actually, I think there is some oil under Gaza, but what they're really going after is they're going after the natural gas that is right off the coast in the waters next to it. And it's over, what is it? Over 1 trillion 1 trillion cubic feet of natural gas that is up under the water in that area. And so it's literally right off the coast of Gaza and going all the way into the areas of Lebanon. So not only is it sitting right there off of Gaza, it's also connected to Lebanon too. So that's also part of why you have some of that uprising. And then on the other side, how you have, okay, let's see, you have Gaza that's sitting right here. You have the West Bank that's sitting right there. Right above, you have Lebanon. All of those areas have that natural gas sitting there. But on the other side, that's where you have the area of Sudan and all that stuff. And that gas is sitting right there in that whole region. And so it makes sense why all of these nations that are right in that area are being destabilized, because Western powers would love to get in there. Yeah, there is gas, but the zone is controlled. Then they could bypass the Suez Canal. See, what was talked about, I want to say a decade ago, maybe more, is they were going to try to get that, natural gas out. Egypt was going to be the one who was going to facilitate getting it out. It was going to be a like three-way partnership between Israel, Egypt, and Gaza for at least that area. And I guarantee you, over time, as they found that there's more going all the way across, the situation is getting interesting. I know that Egypt is badly in debt, and I don't know how much leveraging is going on in this whole situation. Part of why I think they also don't want to move the Palestinians into that area, part of Egypt. Also, well, you'd also have the situation of now you have people who are extremely pissed at that new Israeli territory, which it would become. And any of those attacks that are launched out from Egypt would allow Israel to decide to start attacking Egypt also. And Israel starts attacking Egypt. Well, then you're going to have them start creeping in and encroaching upon their borders. And I think that's part of the plan. Baba says, Frank and Glory, the fine stream tonight. Lots of calling out to hold people accountable. He has a point. And why didn't any of those anti-war people promote Ukraine for peace? I don't. That's what he's doing. I don't like to get into that. I think we need to spend more time just focusing on the issues instead of worrying about policing the alt media community. I think that's there's so much stuff going on. I think that it's it's not a good investment of time spending it going after everybody else's channel and worrying about what everybody else is doing. Worry about what you have going on in your commentary and that you were doing a good job for other for your viewers, instead of the one time you get online you're just worrying about shitting on other people. I think that's silly.
Oh shit.
Mr. Cool in the house. Told y'all he was looking extra Miami right now.
You stupid, Marcus. What's up, man?
Oh, nothing much. They were waiting on you.
Oh yeah, man. We're running behind, but you know, I'm here. That's all that matters, right? One
Yeah.
piece.
Well, Baba says, weren't you talking smack about Jimmy last week or before? The difference is Jimmy was brought up, and I responded on what I felt he was doing or not doing. I didn't intentionally have a stream to just go down a litany of bad mouthing other people. Now, Sebs is not very fond of Jimmy Dore, and so she is going to definitely say how she feels about Jimmy Dore. And when it's brought up, I'll say my piece. But I'm not gonna. I've watched Franco's lately, some of his streams where he's literally spent the whole time just bashing other content creators, and I don't think that that's a good idea. Well, whether it's a good idea or not, I don't like that. That's not my style. I think there's far too much information that people are not getting out here, and you're not being helpful just spending your time just crapping on other people.
Indeed. I mean, I would have to agree with that. You know, the one of the topics in the one of the topics speaks to that. That was actually a pretty slick move on Shorty part. I don't know if you got to that already, but I'll just leave it at that for now. But
you're talking about on the on the Diddy?
No.
Candace?
Yeah.
Actually, we can talk about, because I've been trying to hold that off for now, because I talked about the Al-Shifa hospital. I talked about Iceland. And I felt like it would be good to probably transition into the Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens segment, and then we'll be done with most of that that talk in that area.
You know, I watched the Candace Owens program. I mean, I say that and I'm laughing.
Look at Ambassador.
You see, I can't even and that's a real laugh. That's not contrived. That's not, I'm not doing it for TV. If I was talking to my family member, I would have the same, reaction, right?
Here's Warren. Warren said Candace is a broken clock in this situation. Hamza said fake beef. And I'm gonna put yours back on the screen in a minute, because I do want to talk about it a little bit. And Dubster says, I saw a video explaining the Candace Shapiro issue is to placate to changing winds. That's an interesting take. I don't know. We'll talk about it though. So I'm gonna leave this one here, fake beef, for right now. So go on ahead, Chris.
Well, I was going to say, this is, we're in a clock shop, and, all these broken clocks, they're bound to be right twice a day. You just have a bunch of broken clocks in the shop. And this is, Chris has a good side. Whatever. But, what if for the, maybe I'll just explain a little bit. I'm sure most of the people watching this already know, but in case you don't, Candace Owens interviewed Norman Finkelstein on her YouTube program. What was it, yesterday, maybe day before? Obviously, that is not a voice that audience is familiar with. A lot of people in this space, I mean, I would hope so, if you've been following the issue of Israel, Palestine, and all that other shit. I would hope that you're a little bit familiar with him, right? Because he is somebody whose family actually went through the Holocaust, and he doesn't cry and moan about it and use it as a bludgeon or use it as an attack against you the way that other people do. So it's refreshing to hear someone who actually can say that their family, that he directly was affected by it, and for you to shut the fuck up about using it in the way that they're using it, right? So he went on her program and he basically dissected the whole Israel issue, or the whole matter of that land, right? And it was a slick move by Candace. I have to give it to her. I do tip my hat to her, because Ben Shapiro was really upset with Candace Owens already for hers not being fully pro-Israel. You already know how those Zionists are, right? So because she wasn't fully pro-Israel, Ben Shapiro decided to like start shitting on her in every chance he got. You know, outside some kind of video. I didn't watch it, but obviously I'm
I
reading.
saw it.
Yeah, I'm reading through some of the comments. I can clearly see he's not talking about how great she is based on
Yeah,
this issue.
what he said, and I'm paraphrasing. He said, like, basically she's a pseudo on this subject. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's disgraceful, and just to kind of say she should kind of shut her mouth. And then her response was, she quoted the Bible to him, and then basically talked about how you're gonna have these basically it was an ancient way of saying, hey, you're gonna have haters that are gonna come at you, even if no matter how you try to do things, you're gonna have haters. And then she ended with, Christ is king.
You know that that pissed him off, right?
Oh,
You
I
know that's
know it pissed him off. And for those who don't understand why we're laughing about it and why we say we know that pissed her off, because most Jewish people despise Jesus or Christ or any mention of it. I mean, I played a video last night how they were literally screaming and yelling at evangelicals, and you can just see raw just hatred in their face. And how many videos of Israelis like spitting at Christians, and like, you don't even have to say nothing. You could just wear clergy, clothing, walking down the street, and they might try to kick you and spit on you and push you. And they got a lot. They literally tried to make a law not that long ago that it would be illegal for you to mention the name Jesus on the streets. So there's some, and then if you read into the Talmud in what is it, get him 57:9, yeah, it literally, I'll skip to the point. It literally talks that it says that Jesus was a horrible criminal, and for his crimes and sins, his punishment, he's burning in hot excrement in hell. So that's what they feel about that. So when she said Jesus, Christ is king, she's trying to evoke a reaction.
Yes, she is. But going back to it, what I found very interesting was, I purposely went to her YouTube channel, right? I had to type it in, right? I purposely went to her channel. I watched the interview. I read through the comments. I was expecting to see a ton of trolls, shouting down everything, Norm usually says. And, for those who don't know, everything he said on her program is what he's been saying for quite some time, almost verbatim.
30 years. Oh, and shout out to Pacheco Rome. Thank you for the tip. And oh yeah, for last week, I forgot to mention it on air. I want to for Hemp Car blessed the show so generously. Thank you out there. And anybody sees him when he comes in, let him know. We shouted him out. And what's up, Gregory? But sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No, the comments were all supportive, and it was a lot of, I have never seen this person before. I've never heard it spoken like this. I found that to be a little interesting. I didn't necessarily think that bots would type that, right? That doesn't sound like a very bot-like comment. Saying
But
like
I know
maybe,
they're all over though.
yeah, correct. But usually on this topic, as it concerns Norm himself, much less Candace, right? Just Norm himself. There's a certain level. There's always going to be a certain number of, Zionists that are going to want to dispel everything he says and make him just seem like a complete and total self-hating and brand him as such, and therefore you don't have to listen to him anymore. But I think the way he broke it down, even to that particular group, they were like, well, he didn't really go all social justice warrior type shit. He's stating facts, and I think even for them, it had to click on some level. But what will it end with? What will it do? Absolutely nothing in the long run, because we as a society value money over everything, right?
No,
Whether you as an whether you as the individual value that or not, but the most people next to you do. So the money they're able to throw around is always going to find you a Richie Torres, right? Oh, speaking of celebrity shit, dog, what's up with your man Michael Rappaport? Yo, he outside acting like he's some kind of Santa Claus.
He went crazy after the Kanye thing. He's been completely unhinged since, and they have not been able to get him back in the box since.
Ironic. He said what I have heard or what I have seen several times over the past, month and 2 weeks or whatever. We're making a list. We're watching who is saying what. Given what we know, that sounds, that's something you might want to take notice of.
Yeah, if
you're conducting business in certain spaces, in certain places, you're gonna have to watch what you're saying, watch what you do, because again, they said they're watching and keeping a list. One thing about that particular group of people, when they tend to say they're going to do something, they do it. Okay? Don't get it twisted. A lot of times they do. What we're witnessing now, and that we're all up in arms about, is something that they said they were going to do. Now they're showing us that they're doing it. Okay?
Yeah.
So let's not forget that part or lose sight of that.
Yeah, I completely agree, and it's just a matter of how it's done. One group kind of wants to slowly, methodically do it, like they've been doing with settlements, and or some are doing it with, oh, well, according to this, we have the deed, and like I mentioned earlier, the debate I had with that Zionist, he's like, you got some people who haven't paid rent for 40 years, because it was their land before. How can you come in and now tell them they need to pay you rent? Like, what the fuck? You can't come into somebody's house that they've had for centuries and now tell them they need to pay you to stay there. It's like the entitlement and so you do have the different factions. I say you have three types of Zionists. You have, well, three types of Jewish Zionists. Let's specify. You have the fuck them, get them out, kill them, whatever type. You have the well, either they need to get out, or if we got to do what we got to do, we got to do what we got to do. You got those two, and then you got the third one. It's like, I don't want to hurt anybody and all that, but this is our land and they just kind of need to find some way to leave. And I mean, we can try to find a humanitarian way, but ultimately all three want them out. Period.
Yeah,
All three views.
that is the binding tie amongst the ideology, is that regardless of whether you want to inflict them with cancer, whether you want to inflict them with, massive and severe cardiac arrest, or you want to inflict them with, I don't know, maybe some other type of virus, right? Either which way, it all ends. The end is all the same, or like a physical wound, like a stab wound or a gunshot wound, right? They know, though, pushing the button and killing a lot of people the way they do, the way they have been over the last month, would create a major problem. But, I pretty much want to stay kind of away from that, because the amount of negative energy that they are building up on the other side is not really, it's not good. And you have to be very careful discussing certain things these days, because they coming for you. You even see what your boy Elon Musk did. He said that one particular phrase, right? That one particular phrase is now considered hate speech. So if you utter, and keep in mind, if Elon Musk is doing that, the platform that we're on right now, okay, and you have to be very careful and be very fucking mindful.
Oh, in fact, while you're bringing that up, can you grab that video that I sent you, Amazing Lucas?
Okay, yeah.
Because I don't know if a lot of people even heard about this. And so I just want to bring attention to it, because that's how I found out about it when Lucas talked about it. And Ruby, that's a good point. Ruby says here, the evangelicals need to know how they really feel about Jesus. They may lose a lot of support. But here's the crazy thing about it, and this is what I talked about last night on Hebrew Apologetics. When you really think of Christian Zionists and Jewish Zionists, it's really strange bedfellows. Because if you understand what Christian eschatology is, or end times prophecy, what they believe that the Jews need to be back in the land, enough need to be back in the land for the Messiah to come. And majority of them are going to get obliterated, or convert. That's literally, so they're like, they literally look at the Jewish people as their sacrificial lamb to get the Messiah to return. That's literally what, so it cracks me up when I see these Christians in the streets with these Zionists in New York, like, yeah, we stand with Israel. Yes, they stand with you because they want your destruction. That's the messed up part about it. And then on the other side, the Jewish Zionists, or the Zionists, especially the ones who practice Judaism in particular, many of them believe the Western world is Amalek. They believe that they're their greatest enemy, most of the Western powers in Christianity. And so once they're done with the Arabs, they plan on turning the fire on you next. So it's like you have two groups of people who really hate each other, but they mask it by, we just need you both, and we need you in the land. And so one is like, we need you in the land, we'll pay to help you get in the land. And the other one's like, I want to get in the land, so I'll take your help. But really, they are against each other. That's the craziest, wildest thing to me about the whole thing. And I'm gonna read Thomas's comment real quick. He says, I don't use the atrocities that targeted Native Americans against those I disagree with, nor did I scream anti-indigenous at others. I did, however, use that against crying entitled Zionists, though. And I applaud you for it, because Zionists use it as a weapon every chance they get. Every chance they get. And I mean, cue the tiny violins and the crying and I don't feel safe and all of that they will do a drop of a hat. Either these are the most fragile people I've ever seen, or you're the biggest bullshitting actors I see when you start boo-hooing on a drop of a dime about an ancestor that you've never even met. My great-grandfather, you didn't know anything about him. You just heard stories of what happened to him, and you literally burst into tears over it. I mean, get the fuck out of here. But go on ahead.
Oh, hold on. I'm just trying to access my messages.
Yes, thank you, Yonita. Yes, please get the likes up, people. Please. We implore you. It helps with the algorithm. You guys want us to grow and want us to be able to do this more often. if we're able to go full time, well, I don't see that happening. But anyway, if we just had a little bit of relief, you know, I might be like, you know what, I can do an extra day. I mean, like I already talked about. I'm going to try. We're going to try to clean up the segments a little bit, and I can make some clips out of this for some of y'all to share. But I got to reel us in myself also, and sticking to a segment and then moving to another one without doubling back. But it's hard.
So, in wrapping up the Ben versus Candace part, topic. Ben was coming at Candace. Candace played she made a very shrewd move by bringing Norm Finkelstein on, right? The guy's last name is Finkelstein, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And what are you going to say, Ben Shapiro, right? What are you going to say to him, Ben Shapiro? Like, how are you going to use the normal and typical attacks on the guy with the last name Finkelstein? It's going to be ineffective. So she basically rendered him like invalid, right? He can't move now. There's nothing he could say. So the way she did that and then went on maternity leave, in terms of this entertainment shit and the way that people move and operate, the way that we judge it and view it and rate things, she did her fucking thing, dog. That was if this was Mortal Kombat, it was like finish him, and she got him. Or if it was Street Fighter, it would be like perfect. She did it right. So her clock was right at that time, that particular day. Now,
and I'll respond this one real quick to Ambassador was saying, hey, come on now. They took Holocaust survivors captive, like WTF. My point was every single Zionist does not know one of surviving Holocaust members. Every single one of them don't. And a lot of the ones who I hear who do,
thank you, Chris.
The ones who I see doing the crying and boohooing the most are like 22 years old, 23 years old. You can't tell me all of them know they're surviving, that know they're Holocaust family members. And in fact, when you brought up Norm Finkelstein, perfect example, the girl that he was arguing with, who was doing the boohoo crying, which like went viral years back, she talked about family members way back in her tree. He's talking about his parents. He's talking about like I literally know, I talk face to face with survivors, and you're trying to play the emotional card on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's wild, but at someday they're gonna have to settle, right? They're gonna have to settle everything. And speaking of settling, your man settled real fast.
Oh, which one? What you talking about? Yeah. Hold that one. Because we gotta talk about that a little bit. It's a lot. We gotta. I don't want to gloss over that one. We're gonna talk about it a little bit.
Probably Hamza caught what we were saying.
Yeah. Do you got that Lucas video?
Oh yeah.
we play that Lucas one, and we can button this whole topic up on the whole Israel-Palestine stuff and Zionism and all that. Cause man, my boy ain't been covering most of this. He been kind of like sitting on the sidelines to it. And then like his last 3 or 4 videos, he kind of got dragged into it. And so he decided that, hey, I'm gonna snap on him a little bit. And of course, he can't stand Candace Owens. He literally calls her Candace Owens. So he laid into her. So it started with some random girl who I have no clue about, and was like, the Black community silence on this issue is damning, and we were here for you during the civil rights era, and we're gonna remember that you weren't here for us. It's like, civil rights era, you were here for us. Well, okay, then I'm not gonna touch it, but I'll just say we don't feel the love these days. We haven't felt the love in quite a while. So I don't get how you're trying to tell us how you're in our corner. And that was kind of the basis of what he was saying.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm getting messages from, you know, parents, because our game times changed for tomorrow because we won. Sorry, it's a complete side note, but sorry, we won our 2 games today. You know, the team I coach. Yeah, we won our 2 games, so we play tomorrow, and they changed the time. So now I got parents hitting my phone up like, "Can you pick my son up, coach, please?" Like,
while looking like he's starring in the next remake of Miami Vice.
This is crazy, man. This shit is wild. But anyway,
I can't say nothing because I guarantee you I'll come down there and I'll pull out, I'll drag them out, knock the mothballs off my off of my shirts and my fedora. So
you see,
y'all don't even know when I get in them tropical areas, I start dressing a little different.
That's what happens. Oh, Marcus, I'm looking for. I'm getting the shit loaded.
I mean, I can get it, but every time I've been like switching too many times or playing videos, I've been getting frozen. So I want to make sure that you have it. Oh, that's right. Even if I do get frozen, you're able to stop it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I have it here.
Which one? The Gen Z?
The Elon one.
Oh yeah. This okay, yes. I'm glad you got this one, kid.
There we go.
Anyway,
here, I got it.
No, I'm glad you got this
so
one.
If I get froze, make sure to take over. But yeah, it's first like
put it on.
I got it. Already got it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Telling you, and if you're not familiar with Amazing Lucas and you're not subscribed, please. I love he's a reformed conservative who just been roasting conservatives since he's kind of like walked away from them. But here we go.
Mighty have fallen. Oh my goodness. So if you guys are not up to date with Elon and what's going on over there on Twitter or X, it has been sweet because Elon, all right, if you saw my other videos, Elon has been talking that hot ish, bruh. He been talking that hot ish. He's been a victim and a billionaire at the same time. Make that make sense. I don't know how you can, okay? He been crying and crying and crying. It's them. They making them hate white people and white people. We don't know why they making them do that. They're doing this with the media and it's not fair. Bro. Bro, they have been crying. The fragility, bro. The fragility on Twitter has been wild, bro. You have a whole bunch of people going, yeah, that's right. It's them. They're causing the anti-white racism. Yeah, get them. Then you have the anti-Semites coming out talking about, oh, it's begun, bro. It's happening, man. It's happening. Bro, it was wild. It was wild, man. I had my popcorn just reading the comments and thought, oh, this is fascinating. This is interesting. Bro, they thought a revolution was going to come. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty wild. And then all of a sudden, Elon got that phone call, okay? Elon got that phone call. He got that call and they were like, hey, Elon, so it looks like you seem to be sympathetic with anti-Semitic views. That's what it seems like. And I don't know who you think you're dealing with. You must think that we're blacks. Yeah, no, you just can't blame us for everything and there being no consequences. Yeah, you can do that with black people. Go for it all day, every day. I don't care what y'all do with that. But when it comes to us, yeah, you can't do that, Elon. That's not how that works. So let me just show you. Maybe I can do something that can help you change your perspective and give you a new sense on life. Bruh, I have never seen someone get their wake-up call that fast, okay? I have never seen someone get their wake-up call that fast. And boy, was it fast, because he was buddy with all the alt-right and all the anti-Semites and all the fragility that was going on over there. He got that wake-up call like... Damn. And lo and behold, okay, the next thing I see is this man talking about banning words, bruh. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. The free speech absolutist is banning words on Twitter. I kid you not. I kid you not. This man talking about, hey, you can't say from sea to sea or whatever it was, and you can't say decolonization. Bro, he talking about that implies genocide. What? What? Bro, what? What are you talking about? Huh? Make it make sense. How does that imply genocide? What? This is some crazy nonsense, okay? And all the people who are pro Elon, like, hey, we're gonna boycott the companies that are pulling their ads from Elon. We're gonna do that. All of them got a whole bunch of egg on their face. all of them got a whole bunch of egg on their face right now, because now they're like, oh, Elon, they got you, huh? Oh, Elon, I thought you were gonna lead the way. Oh, Elon, I thought you were gonna be the Moses of the 21st century. Bruh, they crying right now. They crying. They're even more fragile right now than they were when they thought Elon was like on their side. It is crazy. There is.
All right, so that's a gist of what I wanted to show, and if y'all want to go check out the whole video, it's over at Amazing Lucas. Elon bans words from wake up call, and that's what happened. He got that wake up call instantly. All of these companies, all in unison, boom. The next day, like, yo, we're done messing with you.
And the companies that all made those announcements, people will just fanboy, fangirl over it, right? They either love it or hate it, right? Oh, I love Coca-Cola. So for this matter or this issue, I'm going to go buy 2 packs of Coca-Cola when I go to the store. Oh, I hate Coca-Cola. I'm going to go buy Pepsi. Okay, whatever, right? what have you. They're still participating, dog. They're still participating in the system. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to show that because like he's been kind of on point. And Thomas said, I probably won't agree with him on half the stuff. Actually, I think you would. He's kind of more turned into lately. He's kind of been just trying to wake up the black community, like, hey, we doing politics wrong, and he says he thinks it's about 5 more years that black people got before their political, any kind of political power they have is gone. I say it's already gone and it ain't coming back. And for those who think that the black vote has any power, they I got a lot that I'd have to show them that I believe that's otherwise. So that's why I just want to show it. And I think he's at least, and I guess what he's saying to try to get some back because the numbers are dwindling and other things. But oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, they need the black people to vote so Democrats can get in to do some of the things the Republicans can't do when they're in office, right? So
they need that cover.
Yeah, that's how you need them to vote. We'd be better off not voting, not participating, and separating ourselves as a group entirely from the Democratic Party and the electoral system until it is such time that there is a party, not even party, a group, something that some kind of institution that is built by you for you on some FUBU shit, right? Until you have that, you should stay out of it. Because, you know, all the people like, well, all the people who died for you to vote in, what about your local shit? Da, 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 da. Every single thing. Look here, they voted for felons to get their rights back. What happened? They said,
they started locking them up and taking reversing that stuff.
No, they said, if you owe court fees, you can't vote.
But well, that's what I'm saying. When ones did try to vote, they were like, "Oh, well, now you weren't cleared to vote, locking you up for voter fraud." Remember, DeSantis was doing that.
Mm-hmm. If anyone is paying attention to the legalization, marijuana legalization efforts here in the state of Florida, you will know that we, the people for it, have obtained enough signatures so that it will be on the ballot in 2024. Okay. At the same time, you know what is happening? The Attorney General of the state of Florida is getting ready to go to the Supreme Court. Well, not getting ready, already doing shit in the courts to try to jam up legalization efforts by throwing up, oh my God, it's federal law. So this is a reason the state should not legalize marijuana because we'll be in violation of the feds. And, you know, now we're afraid of the federal government. So I want to bring that up to just show that voting, no matter what you do, the powers that be, if they don't want something to happen, they're not going to let it happen.
Yeah. I mean, and what
through that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need a movement. People think like, oh, I'm gonna go vote, hit a switch, and I'm gonna put this party in power, and it's gonna be cool. The same criticisms that we tend to make of Democrats and Democratic voters here, we can make the same thing on the other side for Republican and Republican voters, right? We can make the same exact criticism. Ron DeSantis is a Zionist puppet, right? He's been that. He argued that. If you go back and watch some of the debates against what's his name, Gillum, yeah. If you go back and watch the debate against Gillum, they were both going back and forth over who was closer to Israel. Okay, so he is just a puppet. He's there to say all of the normal and usual things and to pass the money where it needs to go. He has to keep his constituency within the state very happy because they are a huge financial part of the state. So you would be kind of a fool to come in here and actually really go against them if your goal is to get to the bag and not take care of your people.
Yeah, I agree with that, and that's the reason why I just kind of sit back and I listen to people. And for one, here's the biggest problem: in the black community, we're what 14% of the population in America,
Mm-hmm.
and out of that 14%, how many cannot vote because they're either not of age to vote, meaning under 18. You got to factor in that amount of population, because so that takes a good percentage away, like 3%. So then that puts
Mm-hmm.
us down to about 11%. Then you factor in how many people are felons who can't vote in their state, and that takes us down below 10%. Then you factor in how many are completely just controlled. Our vote basically, since it's split into, okay, I'm going to vote Republican and you're going to vote Democrat, and you're going to vote green or independent or whatever. Our vote is so marginal to any of these parties. There's no pushing anything that would help the community in general. All you'd be doing is supporting policies at best that can help everybody as a whole. Which, if you help everybody as a whole, which would be good, it still keeps black and brown people in the same situation they are in, not ever getting to equality, but always keeping us a couple of steps behind. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, that's my point. We're not getting anywhere.
No, we're not at all. Not at all. Yo, it's been, Marcus, side note, it's been a crazy week for entertainment news too. So not only has it been crazy in real life with geopolitics, just in the entertainment world this week was wild, yo. We're learning about everybody's sexual proclivities, whether you like it or not. And it's annoying, but it's there. Just when you think you a freak, you realize you mad vanilla, dog. You,
Yeah.
dog. I'm telling you, yo, this week has been just wild, kid.
I guess
I can't believe
we can go on ahead and take a entertainment break and go on ahead and hop on this, and then we can go into the because your governor up there in New York she's doing some stuff. I don't know if you heard about it.
Oh, with the social media.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean,
Look, again, if we go back to COVID, as specifically in Europe, because we saw this phenomenon more so in Europe and Australia than we did here in the United States. They want to be able to come after you for what you say on these fucking apps.
mm-hmm.
Your
For those,
opinion.
I'll say, for those who don't know, let them know what she's talking about, what she wants to do.
Dude, she's on the same type of time as Nikki Haley. Y'all all need to register. You all need to basically put your all of your information into my database and give me
Mm-hmm.
all access to all of your shit, all your money. Marcus, I don't. It's crazy. It almost makes you just want to have cash and just like get off the grid altogether, right?
I mean, if you are going to get off the grid, and I know I'm frozen right now, but if you're going to get
Yeah.
off the grid, you probably better start preparing now, because some of the stuff that I'm seeing, if they take the route of some of these other governments that I see, oh my goodness, I mean, this research I've been looking at, my cousin sent me about the 10 cent, and I'm trying to go even deeper and finding more info. If America had had a version of 10 Cent already, oh, we'd be done. We would be done.
Mm-hmm.
And so and I look at it like this. In the world in general, if somebody comes up with something, it's not long before everybody else just starts doing it. It's not necessarily that they're all in cahoots. They could be, but it doesn't necessarily always mean that. If you come up with a way to do something better, and I see it, why wouldn't I follow suit? And so in that regards, it's only going to be a matter of time before more countries start to adopt to what 10 Cent is doing. And if you look at New Zealand, Australia, what Canada was doing, all of them, what they were doing during COVID, they already show the authoritarian desire to act in that way. I mean, what France was doing, they already have that authoritarian desire. So if they would have had the means at the time to do what they wanted to do, we would be living in like, a Fahrenheit 451 kind of scenario. No.
Yep.
Sorry to go on a tangent. I can't see, so I guess I'll put a pin in it there.
Hey, damn, what was I about to say? I was looking at some of the comments. In addition to Hochul wanting to, basically send the police after you for what you say on social media, you have that other dipshit, Nikki Haley, who
she's worse.
You don't even know. Most people don't even know that's not even her real name, and she's on TV's complaining.
Nimrata.
She's on television, telling you that there's a time that we're at the time in which you need to like put your real shit on there. You need to sign up for social media, hold the shit a piece of paper with the name and the date and verify, all your shit like that. And again, this is how little they think of us as a population and as a citizenship. The bitch who is telling you this, yeah, I said it. The bitch who's telling you this, that's not even her real name that she using. Nikki Haley's not her real name. Go look it up. Pay attention. You understand what I'm saying? They are playing people left and right about this shit. I don't know what kind of resistance we can do. You know what I mean? However, just be cognizant of the fact that they want all of your information. All of it.
Yeah, her name is Nimrata Ranhawa.
Yes, some kind of
Or Nimorata.
I can't even remember her name.
I looked it up right now.
Oh, and Marcus, something else that we should have put in the title too. And speaking of like social media or surveillance, anyway, not even so much social media, but that too.
Sorry, go ahead.
The videos from January 6th are out, right? Did you see any of them?
Yeah, I saw one where people were walking through.
Marcus,
but I kind of heard that. I mean, but I knew that besides the those couple of little flare-ups that they had, I knew most of it was kind of benign. Most of it was just like trespassing at best.
Oh, also, we've been saying it from the time it happened in real time. Like, this was some bullshit. It didn't look right. Neither you nor I are fans of that particular guy, nor are we best friends with people who would be actually going there in support of that guy. Right? Okay, good. We got that out the way. I can still look at it for what it is and say it wasn't what you're telling me it was. And I don't believe anything you're telling me, because just like we found out with COVID, we see with January 6th, we see with the current situation in the Middle East. We need to pull up the video, right? This would be a perfect time. You know, a video we should keep on deck, Marcus. Why
Well,
you always lying? That we need to keep that. We need to
I
keep that one.
might do that. I might do that.
Yeah, we really need to keep that one on deck, because that's all it is. That is
Well,
all.
I said at the time, and I broke down before I even saw video for those who remember at the time. Um, I said that they already knew all these people were coming in. Good. I came back. They already came back just to freeze again. They already knew that all these people were coming into town. They already knew it. They already knew what they were coming for. They already knew where they were planning to set up. They knew all of this stuff. And just for them to be like, oh, we don't. And here's the thing: if they had any fear that things were going to get out of control, they could have very easily had the National Guard come over. And it showed. Remember when Trump kind of spontaneously decided that he wanted to go over to that church, and they assembled the National Guard over there in less than 10 minutes.
Yes.
And so if they felt this whole thing was going to be so chaotic, and let's say that even though they knew thousands of people were coming and the FBI had already flagged all of these people coming, and that they were all going to meet up there, and they were all checking their emails and all that. That was already documented at the time. That was openly known. They could have, let's say that they didn't do anything. The moment that they got out of control, they could have had the National Guard come over there. But what happened? What was going through the pipe before that this even happened? Legislation from Nancy Pelosi while she was the Speaker of the House.
Yep.
And that legislation was about more funding to the Capitol Police, which extended to outside of the DC area for them to be able to set up branches in all kind of other states, basically expanding the police power of the House members, of not the House members, of the Speaker of the House.
You know, that is that's how part of the security state obtains its funding, clearly, right? Through bullshit like this, right? And, you know, the main reason why I really wanted to bring it up is not to talk to you in a square circle, because me and you could get on the phone for this, right? It's just to remind the people who are watching us now and listening to us, or who will, and thank you, by the way, for doing so, is so that you can go back and remind all of your family members and friends this upcoming holiday. And it's a great time to bring it up, right? And remember, you just throw the grenade. You don't have to argue with them. You could just be like, oh yeah, the video dropped. Some insurrection. Anyway, the Giants suck this year. The Knicks look okay, right? That's how you could do it. You don't even have to get into it with them. But it's helpful to remind people who were all hysterical, extra emotional about this thing because they were sitting home watching CNN and MSNBC all day, listening to them. So you can use this as another example yet again. Again, real quick, you just show it to them real quick. Hey, look what's on my phone. Look, those programs you watch, they're full of shit. And here's why. And then you just move away from them. You just move away from the topic. You don't have to go into it extremely deeply. Pause. You know what I'm saying? You just put it right there, leave it alone, and you out of there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really watch his content, you know, anymore. But somebody I would say that you can take an example from is Tim Brown. Tim Brown, his famous little phrase he used to say all the time was sprinkle some facts on them. Throw a little bit out there and just walk off. You don't have to berate them all the way. And that's the reason why I have some problems with some of the people within my community circles. Sometimes they feel the need to like you're not sprinkling facts on it. What I call it is you're overwatering the plant. You got this plant that's dry and it needs water, and you're pulling out a fireman's hose and blasting it. You don't have to do all that. Just give it a little bit of water. Let that plant start growing. You don't have to blast it away using too much damn water. And Chris, you know what I'm talking about. Which people I'm talking about doing that. Way too much info sometimes.
Exactly. Way too much information. Just, again, you just put the seed in the ground, wet as much as you need to, and then, hey, let it do what it does.
Yeah, and you can regularly come back and water a little bit of fertilizer here and there later on, but you ain't got to do it all at once.
Correct. You just come and check on it. You know what I'm saying? See what it needs. You know, if you see any discoloration, you just figure out what you need to do, right?
Give it a little nitrogen.
You need more nitrogen. Correct. That's what I'm saying. You need more nitrogen. You need more whatever, or less of it. You know, check the pH levels.
Yeah, check the pH. Yeah, is it too acidic? Whatever.
Correct. And you move accordingly.
Obviously, we have green thumbs.
No, look, I'm from New York City. I don't know nothing about nothing green, kid. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do.
I don't know nothing about.
I used to
green thumbs, but yeah, you know.
I used to literally advise people on their different gardens and all that when I was in Florida.
Oh yeah, I remember. Do you remember what was the show? What was the show where the lady was growing bud? On Showtime.
Weeds.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
I figure
the first season of that was all right.
I figure while we're on this whole censorship and stuff still, and hiding of information, I'll drop this one thing. I wanted to talk about it, but I was like, I don't think I want to put that in the title. And I don't want to talk about that early. Let me save that for later on. Now, I know how these algorithms, it monitors everything we say anyway.
Yeah, Marcus, sorry, real quick. I just wanted to say this. Remember last week, whenever I told you I went back to check our video and I saw the whole the little Wikipedia thing they put on our video, right? So I went back to the Candace. And Ben shit. They put another little thing on there talking about Holocaust, even though the topic of their discussion was not Holocaust at all. So I just wanted to show you, like, it does not matter. They are putting shit everywhere to just always kind of remember it. And this time I click the shit and it take you right to some long fucking stupid article. And it's, these here, you know, it's the same old like propaganda mind meld bullshit. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to put you back onto that. Sorry. Please,
no. That was a good note to bring up because me and Chris we talked about it, and I told him, I was like, yeah, don't worry about that, because most people know. Think about it. How many people are like, I don't trust Wikipedia for my source, and so they see Wikipedia at the bottom. They're like, man, bump that shit. More than likely, if you see that at the bottom, you're like, maybe they probably talking about some real shit on here. This is something that I need. So I think I look at it as, since they're not going to throttle back our views on it, it might help people even be like, you know what, maybe I do need to check out what they're saying. Because I look at a lot of times when you deal with some of these people, because they're so out of the loop and understanding things, they're so out of their depths, what they think is attacking you or coming at you or correcting you really a lot of times backfires on them. And they really think, the powers that be put Wikipedia on here to correct them. Ain't nobody paying attention to y'all. They already think y'all full of shit. So if y'all not gonna hide the video, y'all not gonna take the video down, y'all little Wikipedia note ain't shit. So I'm like, middle fingers up. That's how I feel about it. Basically. Yeah, basically. Yeah, if y'all not gonna throttle it back, which y'all already throttle our channel any damn way. So what more can you do? And the thing about it is they do it so randomly. You don't know who they're going to do it on for what video or what video they're not going to do it on. And so that's one thing I've seen. It's so inconsistent because I've literally seen videos talking about the same exact subject. The whole video was talking about that one subject. And the videos were echoing the same points, but only certain people get tagged with that Wikipedia damn thing.
We should be
and it always cracks me.
Marcus, we should be ignorant next week, and in one of the topics, right, mow the lawn, and then follow like Gaza, right? You should say like mow the lawn in Gaza.
Oh, we're definitely getting a note on that one.
Oh, you think so?
Funny. Oh yeah, I'll put a note on that one.
And to say what?
They'll be like,
no,
we don't even have to talk about it. If we put it on there, they'll be like, "Oh, this phrase is a phrase that conspiracy theorists use to describe Israel going after Palestine." I guarantee they'll come up with some bullshit. I mean, and I've read enough of the crap. I can almost tell you exactly what they're gonna say. Shut up, Yipper. Shut your ass up.
Oh, Yipper finally came at you. She be like, he I don't know, he or she, but he be catching left hooks in the body.
I wanted to show this one, and this is the last one about the censorship stuff that I was like, let me just put it out there. I don't want to put this in a title or nothing. I'm just, because when I saw this, I'm like, this is part of what made me join Vote Vets. Well, not the letter itself, but stuff that I saw that was going on. And then when I read this letter, I was like, and I got a lot of flack for this. I got a lot of flack in left circles. And I was like, man, I'm not saying that I agree with old boy, but I kind of see where he coming from. And I even said that with a Reverend Wright video when he was talking about chickens coming home to roost. With Sean Hannity and Sean Hannity program. They did a strike against the video, and I had to pull it down and like redo it and stuff. But I won't even say his name. Y'all can read the title there. Gen Z shocked by letter to America 21 years after publication. And so was that?
I didn't even read that that letter. To the extent I'm like, so they're releasing a letter that he wrote. When he wrote this letter, when did he bother to write this country a letter? I mean, it just seems so fake to me. It seemed like another way to mark people.
Well, when I read it at the time, that's how I was like, this letter ain't fake. The State Department did not write this shit. I was like, there is no way that they would have said this. They would have, because that's the reason why the media fought so hard for this not to come out. And when, what's the name? Was it the Gray Zone? Not Gray Zone. I can't remember the other. What was it? I can't remember who it was. I'm blanking on. I think they say it in here. Guardian. But when the Guardian used to be like actually more far left, and before it kind of start, folding into what it is now, they put this up, and when it got all this attention to it, I don't know if they took it down because they were like, "Nah, we're not letting that sit up there," or they forgot about it, or if they were told, like they got that phone call like Elon Musk got, and so okay, go ahead. So let me start this.
You're gonna play the video, right?
Yeah, I'm mute up. So y'all check this out.
It Wow. This is a story that really has me feeling optimistic about the future because of this video. These videos we're about to show you that went viral, where young people are like, wait a minute, I'm an unwilling I'm an unwilling participant in foreign wars. This makes me unsafe. I don't want this. It's something that we've been saying for a long time, and it's wonderful. But meanwhile, the flip side, the awful part of this story, is that the media is protecting the American government's lies about the war on terror. So here's what happened. This letter from Osama bin Laden from 2002 has been on the Guardian's website for years, over a decade. And when videos reacting to it recently in the context of the war in Palestine on Palestinians went viral, the Guardian deleted it. So first of all, an applause to these young people for seeking out context in this conflict. That's wonderful, but shame on the media for censoring their ability to do this and protecting the military industrial complex and in using the censorship industrial complex. It's crazy. These are many evils. So at last, what I want to say is what I'm about to show you is absolutely not an endorsement of Osama bin Laden. So before you even try and type that out, I'm going to tell you to get the F out of here with that. He was not a good person who we should take life lessons from. He was an ideologue, trust fund baby with bloodlust, but he showed us very clearly what motivated.
And I wanted to pause that there when she said that perfectly, because it's easy for you to say he was an ideologue, bloodthirsty, trust fund baby, all that. You did not experience what he experienced. And I said this on X the other day when I was having a conversation with somebody when they were going after Hamas. I said, I watched a girl tell me that she saw that she has had 68 of her family members, all civilians, die since this whole Gaza bombing campaign has been going on.
68?
In 68 family members.
Mm.
If you had 68 family members die at the hands of another government, you don't know how you would. Most of us, it's easy to say, oh, he's a terrorist. But for instance, how would we feel if Russia killed 5 million Americans? Or China or France? How would any of us feel? And if we literally saw people who were close to us die from starvation, bombs, all kind of different manners, and we had to deal with that year after year after year for decades, daily watching children die. If we had to just go through that over and over and over, and there's nothing we can do about it, and nobody in the world is doing anything to stop it. It's easy to call somebody, oh, well, he's just got crazy bloodlust and all that. For me, I'm not even going to put that on him because it's just a common sense. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes and imagine how you would feel if you were them. Many people probably would feel exactly the same way he was, if not worse. But yeah, go on ahead, Chris.
To think that was a American creation anyway, right? So it's very fucked up.
Yeah, we literally started the creation because a lot of people don't know how Al-Qaeda started. I mean, I'm pretty sure plenty of people in our chat do, but I'm just putting this out there for the record for anybody who doesn't know, who comes across this. The Mujahideen, our government, the United States government, literally gave bin Laden resources and helped him because we wanted him to fight against the Russians in Afghanistan. And part of his my school didn't teach me. Part of this did have to do with, I would say, money is involved with it also. Because bin Laden, after he fought them off, and the US kind of just like Oh well, turn their back to him and let a lot of the Muhajir. You guys
The
know who I'm talking about.
Mujahideen. The
Thank you.
Mujahideen.
There you go. I got a little tongue tied with it. But after we left them to basically be slaughtered, he felt some kind of way against the U.S. after that. How would you feel that your troops that you've been training up, you've been getting all this assistance, and then you watch more than half of them get obliterated, and you got to go and talk to their wife and their kids and all that? How would you feel? You would want vengeance for that. And then he goes back to his native home of Saudi Arabia, and he's like, "Hey, I know we got the oil and all that popping now. I can defend us. We don't need these Americans to protect us." And they're like, "No, son, go back there and go play in the sand. We don't need your help. Look, we're gonna stay with these Americans who basically stabbed you in the back, left you for dead, and left a lot of your people to get massacred. You don't think that's gonna add to the anger?" And so then he basically adopts the Afghan people as his people because he's kind of the black sheep of the family, because he's part of the royal Saud family who kept their ties with the Bushes and mainly through oil and many other administrations also.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting up there now with his his new family that he's adopted. He's watching sanctions being put on them. They're being starved out, not getting medical treatment that they need, all at the hands of the US. You don't think that rage is going to keep on going over years and years and years, and you're going to want to do something back? Well, sorry, I monologued a whole lot on it, but I just found myself, how would I feel if I was in his shoes? And I find I'm not so quick to just start demonizing this person, because if I was in the reverse shoes and it was happening to me, I couldn't say what my reaction and my thinking was. And a lot of these people never put themselves in somebody else's shoes to try to imagine how that they would feel. It's the same thing what's going on with this whole Israel-Palestine situation. These Zionists can only think about their family or other Israelis who have been harmed. They can't at all empathize with all of these people who are being butchered over there, and why now that those people have hatred towards them. And then they go back to that whole George Bush, they just hate us for our freedom. That's the same thinking that most of these Zionists are thinking. They just hate us for no reason. Everybody just hates us. It ain't. There's always a reason for why somebody hates you. For the most part, there's always a reason. It's not just because you're free. Sometimes they hate you because it's jealousy. Sometimes they hate you because something you're doing to them.
Yes.
But here, I'll play a little bit more, and then there's another part that I'll skip ahead, because I do advise, go watch this whole thing. And if you're not subscribed to Redacted, go check them out. They do some good work. I don't agree with everything they do. I feel like Clayton he's still tied to that Republican side to him, where he can only see Democrat bad. But I mean, I think they do some good work, because he's quick to call out the Democrats and forgets that in this situation, George Bush was the president who went along with this. Reagan was the one who was involved with the whole rise of this, and before him, Gerald Ford. So you had Republicans all down the road of this thing, along with the Clintons and the Obamas, and it's been just the United States foreign policy overall for the past, like, I want to say about 60-70 years has went in one direction, and all of them have been on board for the same policy. So that whole, no, it's the Democrats, no, it's the Republicans, no, you're all full of shit, all of them do it. But here we go.
Motivated that bloodlust, which is the U.S. war on Islamic people and Islamic nations, which involved Zionist accomplices. We ignore this at our peril, because the war on terror always brings us more war. And I think what young people are seeing is that they are complicit in voting for warmongers who use our taxes for death. So I just wanted to put that out there. No, okay, let's look at the letter. This is the 2002 letter from Osama bin Laden, translated to the American people. It's translated from Arabic, so we'll just keep that in mind. It had been posted on the Guardian website for over a decade, but since the war in Gaza, young people started reading it to look for content.
I don't know if she's going to read it here, so I'll go ahead and read this part here. Online the full. I think she does read all this, but yeah, I'll just let it play.
Text for all of these terror attacks. Now, once the Guardian started to see this go viral, they removed it from their website. Take a look at this.
Here's removed document, as if they thought, well, no one's going to be able to find this now.
Right.
The internet is not it's not ephemeral. We can't find it now.
We sure showed them. Now, why would they do this?
It adds more fuel to the fire.
Right, because they don't want young people thinking like this. Now, I'm going to show you a compilation of these young people, and they are speaking in jargon. Some of it's very like these days. It's very hip. It's very now. Words that I'm not using right now. But I think what I want you to see here is young people talking to each other, looking for complex explanations to their world instead of just headlines and dismissals. So watch.
This morning I read.
Oh, I thought she was going to read that part. So let me go back. Let's go back and let's go ahead and read the part that she showed but didn't read. I don't know if she's going to read that later because I'm going to skip over. So a little bit more.
Again, people hear things. They have the shit that pissed me off is that we have the event. You have people telling them the official narrative on whatever the issue is bullshit. And at the time they say we don't have all the shit we have after, right? You're saying, but no, all of everything leading up to this and everything surrounding it all seemed to get us, it all seemed to lead up to this point. And if you've been watching certain points within society, you can kind of see where we're going. You don't have to be a fucking genius for any of it. You can follow the money, first of all. That's a good part of it too. You always got to follow it. But Marcus, I tell you, bro, they run the same plays on us all the fucking time, and it continues to work over and over. Not so much on us, but like our parents, our grandparents, uncles, aunts. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ. Those are the ones that we really got to say, like, yo, your participation is fucking us up at this point. You're not helping us. You're fucking us over. So you know what? Come election day, sit your fucking old ass down somewhere. You don't have to take your souls to the polls. Just sit down somewhere and stop playing their fucking game. Because quite honestly, Grandma, you've been doing this for 5 decades and shit's still fucked up. Yeah, you got a bunch of first black women, first black men, da-da-da-da. But you know what? Look where we are now. I look at Richie Torres. I look at your boy, Jamal Bowman. I look at, what's the other one named? Bush, Corey Bush. I look at all these people and I'm like, this what y'all did? You went through all of that so you could send niggas like this? There? Man, you better unplug. You better step the fuck away. You better realize, okay, I was bamboozled, swindled. I got hit with the okie doke. Let me.
But they're not going to come around to it, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. All of the major things that cost money in this society, most of it they already have taken care of. Most of them have already bought their house. They got equity in the house. They're comfortable where they're at. They already got their cars. They already got their credit cards and all that stuff. They are settled and comfortable in their life. Most of them already have health care. So only thing they want to see now is in their day, they had to deal with racism. So if they see symbolic gestures of, oh, the first black this, the first black that, they're fait accompli. You know, they've gotten what they need, but they're
This is
not
going to
paying
be
attention
hard.
to their kids and their grandkids who
I was
can't
about to
buy a
say,
house.
I was about to say this is going to be a little bit harsh, but that's why now you're taking care of your great grandchild.
Yeah,
And you raised your grandkid, right? That's
yeah.
all I'm saying.
But and some of these people who are in their 50s and 60s are wondering why their kids can't move out, why their kids coming back to live with them. And I mean, it's just like, just and okay, you might be taken care of in that way, but if you still have to continue to take care of your kids well after the time when they should be out on their own, then it is a tax on you, but you just not smart enough to see it. Says I have an auntie who married a Zionist Christian evangelical native pastor. He's crazy insane. Much older generations from all communities are clueless or bigots. They don't see social media like we do. Well, it's because they go back to an era when ABC News, CBS News, the nightly news. Like I'm pretty sure most of y'all remember seeing the nightly news, and they watched that. Everybody across the nation at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whichever time zone you're in. Well, for us it was 5, 6, I believe. On the East Coast, it's 7 o'clock or whatever, 8 o'clock, something like that. Whatever time it was coming on, wherever you're at. We all watched those prime time national networks, and we all heard the same news, and we all had this faith and trust in the media because that's all we had. But now we're able to hear other voices. We're able to look up the information on our own. We're able to see around that, and they're so bought into these trusted sources, and that's the problem.
And Marcus, Thomas's last, was it his second sentence ends with, "They don't see social media like we do. Unfortunately, we have social media. You can show real videos, real things to debunk what they hear and see on TV, and they still want to tell you otherwise."
Because they don't look at it as a credible source.
Exactly. So there's another reason why I tend to say you can't save everybody, dog. Because
and I would say not even just our parents. I would say even the generation who's 50 and up. I would say even them, a lot of the Gen Xers, because maybe many of us started in our teens and 20s paying attention to these issues. Most of those in their 50s and 60s did not give a shit about nothing but partying and worrying about their life. And then when they hit their 40s or 50s, that's when they finally start paying attention to a little bit. And all they did was go back to that, what they were grew up on and trusted.
Yeah, that's it.
Because I listen to so many Gen Xers who are in their 50s. Oh, I listen to all the sides. So who are you listening to? MSNBC, Fox, and CNN. And you think that you're hearing everything. That's the problem. And so in their mind, they're hearing all the sources. Yeah,
that they are. But where are we in the article? In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, permission to fight.
Permission to fight against disbelievers is given to those believers who are fought against because they have been wronged, and surely Allah is able to give them, believers, victory. From the Quran, they just says 2039, and I know that it would give us surah It would give an actual verse, but not. That's like saying that being a Bible verse and just saying Holy Bible, King, or just saying like King James version is not giving you no book, chapter, nothing. Well, I guess that's the chapter, but it's not giving you a book where it comes from. And there are books in the Bible, books in the Quran. Those who believe fight in the cause of Allah, and those who disbelieve fight in the cause of Taghut, anything worship other than Allah, i.e., Satan. So fight you against the, and they don't even call it. I mean, it would be, never mind. I'm not even going to that. So fight you against the friends of Satan, ever feeble indeed. The plot of Satan. Quran 476. That sounds so stupid. Some American writers have published articles under the title, "Oh, what basis are we fighting?" These articles have generated a number of responses, some of which adhere to the truth and were based on Islamic law, and others have not. Here we wanted to outline the truth as an explanation and warning, hoping for Allah's reward, seeking success and support from Him. So that's what that starts with, and I'm gonna jump ahead to this one girl here. She kind of sums up most of it.
Marcus, I have a question.
Yeah.
This boy fell asleep on the couch, right? Should I throw a battery at him to wake him up and tell him to go to his room? Or should I throw like an ice cube at him?
Well, if it's an ice cube, if you're aiming for the head, ice cube.
Okay.
If it's chest, torso region, battery will work.
Okay, yeah. And I had the double A here, but I see I got a triple A, so I think I may downgrade to the triple A.
No.
Oh, stick with the double A.
If you're going with the double A, go for the chest. The triple A, aim for the neck.
Okay, bet.
Oh yeah, we're savage.
Yo, I be messing with these kids, man. Oh yeah, he's gonna chill on the couch. Yeah, he's good. He already knocked the hell out.
Take your ass to bed.
He played 3 basketball games today. I'm surprised he went out to the party with me. So he hung out. So
I know. I saw Marcus was looking sharp.
Yeah, you seen that, right?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we going out. You got to like dress up, whatever. So I was like, oh, okay, this is an opportunity. So I made sure that we was super fly. You know what I'm saying? Even though he was hating it, but it was a sweet 16 we went to.
I understand. So he didn't want to rock the white pants yet, but I guess you got to groom him into the white pants at some point.
Yo, I had to, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, how am I going to go to a sweet 16 as a grown ass man? Like that sounds wild. Like, yo, what'd you do on Saturday? You went to a sweet 16? Like, hell, right? That's not good. So I had to make sure I brought my 15-year-old son with me, and I chilled with the parents. You know what I'm saying?
I told you, Yipper, from the beginning, he was dressed extra Miami. Yeah, he wearing. He got that 100% Egyptian cotton outfit on right now. Oh man. That's how you got to dress in the humid areas, man. That's how you got to dress. They told me nice freeze frame. Yeah, and I think it's kind of cool that I did catch the freeze frame that way, because I'm pretty sure she's probably one of those stick in muds which would never smoke weed, and so make her look nice and stoned right now.
Yeah, she would never. She'd be like, edible. What's that? I don't smell.
No, you would have to like just hide the brownie right in there in the midst of the other ones and let her get it unknowingly, and she'd be wild. She'd probably be cracking everybody up and then freak out once she finds out what happened. Well, yeah. All right. I'll let the young lady I'll let the young lady like lay into it, because for me it's kind of wild the fact that other people are fine. I never thought that people would come around to this perspective. And I remember being 20 and like, oh, how old was I then when this came out?
What? Which
Oh,
one?
when I read the letter, I was probably about 22 when I read this letter.
God.
And so I remember my thinking after already seeing certain stuff and talking to people on the ground, and then hearing, because if I hadn't talked to like if I hadn't talked to people on the ground, Muslims in in Arab countries, I wouldn't have been like, well, why don't I check out what's being said in there? Because I was completely, you know, what do they call it? You know, I was gun ho military minded back then. And once
Mm-hmm.
I actually talk to the people and hear their side of the story, and I realized, oh damn, I'm on the wrong side of this.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're stuck in the middle of it and you're just following orders, what do you do? So once I got out, I made sure that I always try to push back against this stuff and tell people the reality, what I saw, and how wrong so many people in the West have it. But here, I'll let the girl speak.
She looked like an AI character right there. Like, you seen the
Like
pineapple?
those avatars, like
Yeah,
like
no,
your
yo,
avatar that you have on Snapchat.
yeah, correct. You see the
Yeah,
yo, what's that girl name? What record did she make? That Pinky girl. She made a new record, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. The girl who was like ice cream, yum yum. She,
I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about. Not only that, she goes live every like almost every day.
Does she?
Yeah, she's on. I'm gonna send you her stuff. Pinky Doll.
Yeah, Pinky Doll. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
just know
it's another one on there now. I'm surprised she don't get like more attention, because what is her, Angie Cyborg, or she acts literally like a cyborg. She's pretty good at being a cyborg. It's kind of creepy sometimes, but um,
yeah, you're gonna have
this
to
is the
top that.
thing.
You're gonna have to do a OnlyFans like NPC, like for real. And you're just gonna have to really just be doing a whole bunch of shit strange for a whole lot of change. I hope it pay your
Uh,
goddamn bills.
yeah, and you don't see the dude.
Yeah.
They be up there. Thank you for the glizzy. Thank you for the glizzy. I'm like, oh, you nasty ass. They be like, yum, yum. Thanks for the roses. Thanks for the roses. Thanks for the roses. Like, no.
Balls on everything.
And then there's one,
Oh.
like, she be making these faces like, I'm like, okay, all right. I told you. Well, I don't know if we have time towards the end. I'll play that video again that I did
Yeah.
on
Yo,
TikTok about it.
Marcus, you see Chris's comment?
He said, "I heard Pound Town. What was that? I heard Pound Town. It was a disgrace to all powerful black musicians come before it. It was dreadful. I mean, to think we're talking about Pound Town, and you know what you know what I was listening to before the show. I was listening to the 10 Cent stuff early before the show, but what I was
Okay.
listening to before this, I was listening to Dizzy Gillespie.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
his quintet, and so that's what
You're not
I
gonna
was on. I'll let y'all keep Pound Town. Y'all can have all that.
you're not gonna check out your man Andre 3000 and his flute album.
No, I am not.
You know he put out an album like with him just playing the flute, right?
I'm not listening to that. No. If he
Yeah.
is not rapping, I don't want to hear it.
Yo, on the packaging of the physical copy, or on the cover, it says no bars. Warning, no bars.
Nope, not what. Nope, don't want to hear it. Nope.
Yipper said, wow.
Yeah, y'all can keep the pound towns and the throat baby. Y'all can have all that. and the WAP, keep it all. I don't want none of that bullshit.
Why? Why they gotta keep the throat baby?
No. You're up there talking about throat goats and all this. Yeah, keep all of that mess. And for y'all who know exactly what I'm talking about, shame on all of y'all. I remember when now they done made stuff like Tip Drill a respectable album. Damn you, Trina, for what you have brought into the world. I put it on Trina.
Yo, Marcus.
I put it on Trina.
Hold up. And Marcus, Tip Drill was bad because what did it say? It said it gotta be your ass because it ain't your face. I need a tip drill. I need a tip drill. Right? And
yeah.
Yo, the shit that's out now is way worse.
Way. I don't even want to talk about Sukihana. Just leave her out of it. Oh gosh, that's a horrible hot mess right there. And you know why I said I blame it on Trina? You know why? In her song, she said, "You don't know now that'll fuck about 5 or 6 of your best friends." Wow, that's in her song. That's in her lyrics of one of her first songs she came out with. Yeah, Kia, her nasty ass too. Oh my gosh.
I mean, we had but you also have whatchamacallit, the Yin Yang twins, right? We can't forget them, right? Because what did they say? Wait till you see my dick. Oh, wait till you see my right? I'ma beat that right? And that shit was
but at least they talking about one girl. At least they talking about one. I mean,
but though they was playing that song, but they was playing the song on there like while you was in the school circle to drop off your kid in like 7 o'clock in the morning, right? And
well,
some of these
that's some ignorant ass parents.
Parents is playing that, so these kids are, you know what I'm saying, talking about wait till you see my shake that. Oh yeah. No, did you see there's a teacher? She used ski to get her class in control.
No, yeah, no, okay, all right, that's enough. That's enough. we're not influencing the cheering. I know you're in Florida, so I did that just for you. The cheering.
No, well, if it's Florida, then you gotta say the Jits. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's right. That's right. The Jits now.
Jits.
Well, but the Jits is normally the bad kids.
That's true. Yeah.
They call all of them cheering.
Cheering. Yep.
Let's see. All right. So when this would be one of the cheering right here. Oh boy. All right. So let's get on to this. And I think it's kind of good that the younger generations are starting to wake up to this stuff. But for those who have not seen it, search it out and read it. It's 2 pages long. And it'll tell you a whole. This is how I know. Like, this is why when people say, "Well, you could tell by the penmanship it was wrong," whatever. For one, it's in Arabic. If you don't read Arabic, then I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, somebody had to rewrite it into English, so of course it's somebody else wrote that. But they're just translating. They're not rewriting the whole letter. Excuse me. Here we go.
It's just blowing her mind. Watch.
Okay, so if you don't know what the fuck is going on in the world right now, I'm here to explain to you. Y'all, I'm shaking because I don't know what to do. Like, oh my God. Okay, Okay, so Osama bin Laden came out with a letter to America, and this is just him answering the first question. This is just the first question. This is all information that I gathered from the first question. He asked 2 questions, he answered 1. Hold on. So he says, because you attack us and continue to attack us, you attacked us in Palestine, it brings us both laughter and tears that you're yet tired of repeating your fabricated lies. Mind you, he's talking to America as a whole, okay? Attacked us on a daily basis. Over 30 million civilians have died. Not army people, regular civilians, your mama, your daddy, your grandma, the kids, dead. You still are wealth in oil. I don't know this word, but because of your international influence, you sound entitled, America. The theft is indeed the biggest theft ever witnessed by mankind in history of the world. Starve the Muslims of Iraq. Children die every day. More than 1.5 million Iraqi children have died as a result of your sanctions and did not show no concern. Yet, when 3,000 of your people die, the entire world rises and has yet to sit down. He's talking about 9/11. 3,000 people died in 9/11. Yet every year, it's like, oh my God. But yet millions of people are dying and oh my God. Oh my God. Hold on. He says, you have supported the Jews and their idea that Jerusalem is their eternal capital and agreed to move their embassy there. Listen, y'all, with Americans' protection, the Jews are planning to destroy, I don't know what this is. I'll put it right here. More than half a century of attacks. And did y'all know that the tax dollars are given to Israel to help them kill all the people in Palestine? I don't know what to do with this information. Like, I'm going crazy because it's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was little as fuck when 9/11 happened.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's in a bathroom. I love that she was in a bathroom, by the way. And then somebody walks in.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Hey, look. Yeah.
And so that was a video of her just going into some of it, and they kind of allude in here too. The Pulse nightclub, they didn't. If you read the manifesto from that, everybody makes it out that he was that they were going in there and they killed him because they were gay. That's not what his letter said. His letter talked about because of the attacks in the Muslim world, this was a retaliation. But we don't hear that side of the story. That's the reason why every time I hear a mass shooting, I want to read the manifestos. I'm tired of this. Well, we don't want to encourage other ones by let's not say their name and what happened. Well, how do you deal with a problem if you ignore the problem? Do you want more of these to keep happening? Because that's how you keep more happening, is if you never try to investigate the causes. And the reason why they don't want to investigate the cause, because they don't want the American people to start questioning why the hell America is doing what they're doing in these countries. It's pretty simple.
Too, the solution is simple. The one thing that anybody should take away from the Norman Finkelstein interview with Candace Owens is that despite the attempt by some people to make things seem complicated and complex and multi-layered, and that it requires a lot of thought and it requires a lot of debate, nah, they just bullshitting you. There's a lot of things that don't require it, that are not complex at all. It really is like life or death. Are you okay with your neighbor slaughtering the neighbors on the other side of the street? Or do you have an issue with that? It really is. It really is simple as that. Do you care or not?
And I want to read this comment here from Ramon Correa. He said, it's all about the Belt and Road. They're all in on it, China, Russia, and Arabs. Well, that's the thing. The Western world is trying to counteract the Belt and Road Initiative. And the reason why China, Russia, and the Arabs are all in on it is because the West treats them like an enemy. They literally are saying, we'll work with you guys on some of this stuff, but on the rest of this shit, stay over there in your place. We don't need your help.
So
If
they
you
say
treat
just
people
go
like an enemy, what are they going to become?
your enemy. So basically, they telling them to go over there and just listen to ski. That's it, right?
That's pretty much close to it. Oh, Yonina, they talked about the Tennessee shooter on there, and I didn't even know this. Did you know all the mass shooters have something in common? They all have something in common. Can anybody guess what every one of the mass shooters all have in common?
What is that?
What they all have in common is pharmaceutical drugs.
Oh yes,
every
Marcus,
one of
real
them
quick.
is on pharmaceuticals.
Yipper asked me what I was talking about. I just want to show it. It's real short.
But yeah, that's all I had. That's all I had to say on that. We can move on.
Yeah, it's just real short. Watch.
How I get my students' attention.
If you see me and you trying to see what's up, if your pencil sharpened, if you're ready to go to science.
So yeah, they using that was it. It's short clip.
If I am the parent and I walk in and hear you playing that bullshit for my kids, you about to lose your fucking job. You about to lose your fucking job. Play that fucking. Whoo! You better play some Mahalia Jackson or something.
You know, the thing about it is that the song is extremely vulgar. It's not like, okay, maybe there's just there's like the second verse, it's like 2 lines that are bad. No, the entire song is as vulgar as it gets.
Because for me, her name ain't Sexy Red. Her name is Disgusting Red. But
the fact is that the moment she just even said the bars, the entire class, and they all got quiet, right? So that goes to show we got to do better.
Yeah, why do kids even know this song?
That young, because that sounded like they're very young.
And I'm about to go into something real quick. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Who owns most of the record labels which most of these black artists are signed to? You don't have to say it out loud, but we all know. No, so why are they pushing this shit for the kids to even hear?
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Because wait a minute, did I sing no, I guess I didn't. Damn it. The RZA Islam was talking about it. Oh man.
Well, I mean,
damn. I think I did send it to you on the gram.
Okay.
Let me see. I think I sent it to you on Instagram. Yeah, because if you got that, yeah, I did send it to you. Play that one I sent you on Instagram.
Hey, did you see the picture I just sent your phone?
Okay. I said they're a little too old for him. I said, what you got going on? We're gonna have to talk about this after the show, sir.
Man, look, I'll tell you, man. I'm having a good time, kid. I'm telling you.
I know you do. I know how South Florida is.
Yeah, man. It's cool.
It is a different environment, definitely. Honestly, I remember whenever I leave Florida and just come back into the state, you feel a difference. Honestly, I'll tell you what you feel when you touch down in LA. Stress. It's like being dropped straight down onto a treadmill that's on a high speed already.
Marcus, what are you doing
It's
for?
like, bitch, you better keep running, or you will fall out here. It don't take much to fuck up and fall out here, huh?
Yeah. Speaking of which, what are you doing next week? I know you have off like at least 2 days.
I ain't doing shit.
Okay.
Not a damn thing. I'll actually, yeah. So what that'll be Wednesday, Thursday. No, not Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, 4 days. 4 days off. 4-day weekend.
Oh wow. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't
Hey
know.
man. Say you want to swing out to LA, that'll be great.
That's why I'm thinking I may treat myself for my birthday. I don't have like any major plans, so I'm like, damn.
I
I'm
might
gonna be
actually
Retreat.
leave the house too. You come out here. We might got some places we can go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now my birthday's and it's next Friday, so it's like, that's a good time.
That sounds like a plan, man. I'm with it.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, you know, I ain't doing shit. So oh yeah, let me pull this shit up.
Mm-hmm.
I got it up.
He said Reza Islam, David Pakman's personal boogeyman. I actually saw David Pakman, which is weird to me because I used to watch some of his shit years ago, and his whole take on the whole Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro thing. He's like, well, I mean, I look at what they put out, the Daily Wire is just like a blight on humanity. So as long as they're fighting, they're not putting out their bullshit. So that's good.
Mm-hmm. This the one you want me to play, right?
Yeah, that one.
Collectively with the music, the dress code, the fashion, all of it controls and manipulates the mind of the people. As soon as they lock into it, you are writing on them what to do. It's a very deep subconscious thing. So that's why when children look at it, they see it, they start walking the same way, talking the same way, rapping the same way, carrying them Dracos the same way, putting them ski masks the same way. Because the dude who they look up to is doing that. He did that. He's making that much money. Dang. So in order for me to make that much money, I need to do that. It's very simple. How the mind works. It operates as pictures.
What's your song?
I'm at top.
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah.
No.
Go ahead.
He is trying to see me, and trying to see me, and trying to say what's up.
Let's go.
Downtown, going downtown.
Ooh. All right. Let's say, girl. Ooh. That's how you know. Bye.
Ooh. I said, you look good out, no makeup, no lashes, even your weight.
Oh, for me. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Ooh.
Yo.
Ooh.
Yeah. Somebody need to get up. Somebody need to get up.
Ooh, yeah.
So the responsibility of the artist is
somebody need to punch that teacher in the fucking face.
Somebody need to get that.
That teacher needs to be
Somebody need
punched
to get
in
that
the
little
fucking
girl.
face. That's what needs to happen because
that little
kids are
that little
especially at that
girl.
age are so influential. I mean, they're easily influenced, and this is the crap which you putting in front of them. Now, apparently, it's obviously their parents are even worse because that's how they know this shit. Or maybe they know it because she plays in the classroom. Whoever it looks like, that's the reason why I say we ain't got much more time left. I mean, we imagine if this is how the kids of today are being, what they put in their head. How are they gonna be? How are they gonna be in another 15 years? Like literally,
Marcus,
you're gonna have daycares bigger than the school.
You know, if they were rapping to like Kanye, Hey Mama, or Tupac,
Jesus
record,
Walks,
right? It wouldn't be a problem because actually the words and the message conveyed in those particular tracks that we named specifically
what
are
about some Arrested
actually,
Development? Come on.
they're not harmful to the children, not at all. It's not vulgar overall. You understand? It's not the way that girl, the last girl that they showed in the video, the way that last girl put her hands up behind her head and started dancing and shit. She be in the room watching mommy, right? And sure, mommy and auntie or sister, whomever, may just be playing around and not not really realizing, but look what you're doing. So when she goes to school and she starts gyrating like that, and the little boys who can't control themselves, then after watching this content themselves, looking at the girls moving like this, it just seems like the dynamic is not gonna, the outcome of that is not gonna be good.
Nope, not gonna be good at all.
Again, if adults want to enjoy that stuff, it's all good. I'm not hating on it for the adults. I'm just hating on the adults who actually play that shit in front of your kids without even providing them any instruction in that, hey, you hear this is not right, it's not good, you should actually just listen. You should not be listening to this. Don't let me catch you playing this. Don't let me catch you saying this. At least provide that counterbalance to it. So at least when they hear it, they're outside and they want to be all loud and shit about it. You already at least said it. They're going to do what they want to do, but at the very least, they cannot claim ignorance after the fact. You dig? You know what I mean? So you guys are just stuck with me for the moment. And, like I said, I think we've pretty much covered everything. And, the celebrity shit really just been crazy this week because it involves a whole lot of nasty shit. I'm going to wait for Marcus to really get into, Diddy shit. But to those of you who weren't really paying attention, that was very ugly too. It had implications that go beyond just the man himself or the company. It would actually cause a lot of people to look at a lot of other celebrities in a certain way, or you would begin to ask questions of executives, whether they were at these places or not. You would start to ask questions because, like, yo, you heard all these things and you still were doing business with these people or this person, So, we'll just wait for Marcus to get back to jump into it because I think he probably went to go, handle his business. The Lord must have been calling, so he's going to take care of it. Anyway, I appreciate everybody while we got this like little lull. I appreciate everybody coming through. It's a Friday, it's a Saturday night, Sunday morning for some people, or it is for me. I appreciate you guys coming out and listening to us kick the bullshit. It's appreciative. We read the comments, we go through it, so it's cool. Let's see. Marcus, is that you playing that?
Sexuality have been circulating on the internet, with many speculating that he may be hiding something. However, in 2021, a tweet praising Lil Nas X's performance at the BET Awards became the
Yo, so look, So look, Dwayne Martin was beating Dwayne Martin was giving Will Smith the business according to the best friend, right? Not that I care. That's a rumor we've heard for a long time, specifically about Dwayne Martin.
Yeah.
And we know him and Will Smith are mad cool. So, whenever a homeboy goes on there, even though he looked very suspect to me, maybe he exaggerated on what he saw or anything like that, but I would not be surprised to hear that. But that's
So
kind of
what
crazy.
I miss? What I miss? Where we at?
No, I was just getting into the entertainment shit, and I was playing off the video you play, right? I was saying this week has been crazy in that, we found out Will Smith taking it up the Dookie shoot from Dwayne Martin pause, right? That's nothing new, right? The Keke Palmer shit done spilled out, and the mom is saying that Usher is gay. Usher catching stray shots without even doing anything, right?
I mean, and then what was it, like a week or two before that? You had the white your boy Dwight Howard.
You had Meg Thee Stallion's boyfriend or her ex-boyfriend put out a record last night that is very damning to her and her whole entire story. Right? So, and then Thursday, we had, Thursday to Friday, talk about what a difference a fucking day make, right? Yo, Cassie filed that lawsuit against Puff on Thursday. On Friday, they was both on Instagram with the statements from the from the publicist. Oh, we wish each other well. Oh, it's all love. Everyone go off. And Marcus, I have never. There was lawyers in the comments of the Shade Room that said, I thought I got my client's money fast.
Yeah, that settlement happened real quick. Really quick. He's like, yo, settlement NDA, hurry up ASAP. Because
did you read any of the complaint? We got new terminology now, kid.
Hey, go into it for him. Let the people know.
Oh, instead of saying, yo, we're going to the party, we got freak offs, kid. We got freak offs. Yo, you know what he was doing look, I don't want to say in full that he was doing it to her because, she's a woman. She's able to make her own decisions. So, and I don't want to argue on that shit. But the only thing I'm saying is that Puff got money. They would be in hotels and he would have her go online and look for Long Dick Larry to come to the hotel and dig her back out while Puff sat in the chair like a cuck, taking care of his own self, filming it, talking shit, directing, getting off on this wild shit. But then he was also like, wildly physical violent to her. They gave her a lot of drugs, but basically like he would, wherever they went, whatever city they were staying in for whatever the event, it doesn't matter. She was to go online to an escort website. And again, she was out there looking for LDL, right? Again, she was looking for Larry. And Puff made her, and the thing is, it's very weird. Some of the details that were in the complaint was that he made her wear white nail polish because he loved the contrast of her light skin and white nail polish against the dark men, because that was his specific request. You need to find the dark LDL. So it couldn't even be light skin Larry. It had to be dark skin Larry.
Yeah, I need Long Don Silver ASAP.
Yeah, facts. And she filed that civil suit for $30 million, and the next fucking day, that shit was settled.
He was like, 25? 25, will that work? Okay, cool. I guarantee you that's how that shit went.
Oh,
He
it
was like,
went whatever number she agreed to, he gave it to her along with a piece of paper that said, "Bitch, you better not ever say my name again."
mm-hmm.
You can't even say Puff the Magic Dragon.
But that's just like part of the wild shit that I've heard over the time. I mean, we were gonna have Tones on, and I don't know if y'all remember the interview that I had with him probably about maybe a year ago now. And they actually I had copyright strikes all over that video. I played one of his songs from his channel that was approved to play. They hit me for that. There was another one that we talked about prison reform stuff, and that's off of this topic, but they hit me for that one. There was another one that was talked about people in the industry, rappers and musicians being forced to do some gay stuff. They hit me on that. And then he himself, what Tones told me is he said like he was having a meeting with Diddy, and Diddy, it was just like the vibe was weird. And like when he kind of like called him out on it, Diddy was like, "Yo, man, get the fuck out of here," basically. Like, he's like, "Hey, man, are you trying to?" And then he tried to pretend like, no, that's not what I was doing. Get out of here. But he also told me about a party that he knew of that one of the dudes he knows in the industry told him, "Hey, man, you don't want to go up in there. You don't want to be a part of what's going on in that party." And once he was told about that, he was walking away and he was telling somebody else, I can't say out of confidentiality who, but he said that it was other well-known artists who were going there, and he tried to tell them, and they was like, "We know what go down in there," and they walked in willingly. So some people are willing to go a little bit further than other people for success. I'll say that much.
Well, you got to sacrifice them, right?
Yeah, and he was talking about
you have to make the sacrifice for success, right?
Yeah, in that video, that one of the videos that they hit me on, because I would play the video, but they hit me on the video. In the video, oh boy, and he was part of. Trying to remember, was it No Limit that he was part of? And he's like, these record execs. He's like, that's part of why he stayed with No Limit, because he didn't have to deal with what some of these other people were dealing with. And now, granted, there is a difference between some of your favorite rappers are just actually gay and are hiding it. They're closeted gay. And then there are some who are being forced to do stuff that they don't want to do.
That's the difference.
And
so,
yeah.
And that leads us right into your boy Diddy, dog. You know,
well, we didn't. Well, did you tell them about the Jay-Z? I mean, not the Jay-Z, but the what's his name? Ja Rule thing.
Oh no, I didn't even bring up the Ja Rule part. But a lot of people, even 50 Cent, every time Puff has an event, just go to 50 Cent's Instagram page and look what 50 Cent says. He knows it. He gets it. He comments on it all the time. He says, that's why I'll be going to them people when they all white parties, the parties that them people be throwing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's weird. You know, there's weird shit going on. Everybody's on drugs. Just look at the Michael Rubin, the guy from the
you talking about the baby?
Yes. Just look at the Michael Rubin party. Google Michael Rubin party, the baby.
I'm gonna try to pull that clip up real quick, or just the image.
You can pull that up. And then furthermore, it just ties into like the overall like news of the last month, yo. Because who's doing all this shit primarily? Who's setting up these parties? who's inviting people, who's organizing the list. It's one particular group. They're inviting people to come and get inebriated beyond, imagination. And when something happens, they've got everything on you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what oh boy from No Limit, he was saying that you won't even know nothing happy. Like, man, fuck this deal. Y'all screwing me over. Y'all don't want to pay me right. I'm out of here. And they'd be like, no, you're not. You're not going nowhere. Sit down. And they'd be like, what you talking about? Man, he's like, no, sit down, or else this can get really ugly for you.
Yeah.
And then they get ready to raise up, and then they'll bring in a TV, and they like, hey man, isn't this you? Yeah. And he's like, I didn't do that. He's like, but that's you, right? Yeah, but I didn't. And now they got you on camera doing some stuff that you don't remember doing because you done went to one of these parties and got messed up. You see, this is the baby picture we're talking about. You see Michael Rubin all hugged up on his back, and then it was the stuff on the airplane and everything too. Now, what a hardcore rapper do you know, or Lil Baby? Sorry,
Yeah,
that feel comfortable.
Lil Baby.
What street rapper do you know feel comfortable with letting a man hug him from the back like this? Now he could just be like that. That could be his environment. But the difference between who's doing it because they want to and who's not, the lines are getting very blurred because, like, I mean, Bobby Valentino, it was some stuff that came out about him not that long ago. He was trying to keep, under wraps. And so sometimes they doing it because that's how they get down and they, hey, that's their old business. But yeah, that's what it was, Lil Baby and Meek. So the another thing that I've heard people talk about, what's his name, Diddy at these parties, and some of the people that he rocked with. I sent you something. I was like, I don't know if you want to show it or not. Video. You say the one I sent you on in the DM on X. I saw that video. It's just a short, but the story that Diddy's bodyguard was talking about is he talked about a time where he was supposed to have this special friend coming in town, and he went with him to a sex shop. Well, you see what I was laughing about when I was coming back in. I had that video, but they went to the sex shop, and he went and got a whole bunch of stuff, and he just like put a couple stacks on there, and they put it in the black bag or whatever, and he was like, man, I saw he was looking at some different things in there, and Diddy's like entertaining a special guest, and he's like, make sure don't nobody come up in here. And
who is yes,
some dude comes to the he's like, nah, my cousin up in there, he don't need to be up in there, and he's fighting, the bouncer is fighting with this dude's trying to get in there, and Diddy come to the door, and he's like putting his robe on, and another dude comes to the door that happens to be Jeffrey Atkins, which if you don't know who Jeffrey Atkins is, that is the rapper Ja Rule. So Diddy earlier in the day goes to a sex shop to go get some stuff, and now the bodyguard is attesting to he back in the room with Ja Rule doing some stuff with whatever he got from the sex shop earlier. So I don't know the full story. I don't know what was going on, but that's just what was told. And so there's been a lot of like that Diddy has forced people to do stuff. And then I've even heard that Quincy Jones was doing the same kind of stuff to a lot of people and trying to force Will Smith and like Tupac and all kind of different people to do things. And so that's a bridge that kind of want to tie together, because now with the whole Keefy D situation going on and him talking about Diddy, kind of interesting. Some of this stuff is coming out right now. I don't know. Your thoughts, Chris?
It's mind numbing after a while. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes very cyclical. It becomes like
cyclical.
It becomes. Thank you. And we just replace names, faces, times, years, months.
What was the name of the company he was working with before? I always blank on it.
Uptown Records.
There we go. It was a video I wanted to share.
Oh, from Jaguar, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it was. I guess I won't pull it up because I don't want to get hit with a copyright or anything on it. But it's just a strange mystery how all of these people who were tied into Uptown Records, all of them wanted to do these tell-all books, and boom, they all start dropping like flies from various different things. And I don't have no evidence to say that Diddy was what was going on exactly, but it's just a weird coincidence that all of these people died, or like I think, well, not all of them. Like Al B. Sure was the only one who didn't die, but he was like literally on life support fighting for his life.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you got like, how many people was it? Like 10 people mysteriously die, and then think Diddy is right in the middle of this whole Tupac and Biggie situation. They die. It's a lot of death around that man. The fact is, the one fact, whoever's doing, we don't know what's exactly going on, but one thing we do know is there's a lot of dead bodies around Diddy.
A lot.
I mean, at a certain point, you got to be like, what the hell is going on with this dude? And
yeah, what do you do when everybody always ends up dead around you?
Yeah, I mean, or if nothing else, you are the most unluckiest person, or not even unlucky. I just want to get away from you because maybe you got the Grim Reaper just hanging around you at all times. But something is happening when people are around Diddy.
That sounds like the fall of the House of Usher.
I've seen previews of that show, and it's kind of ironically named. It's kind of ironically named.
It is ironically named. Oh, if you never, you should watch it, kid.
And Iris said here, some of these rappers do anything to get ahead. No pun intended. Yeah, I've heard one was doing anything to get some head. So mainstream record companies create the atmosphere for elitist, egotistical musicians / record companies to prosper and dictate their crew. Have you heard the one about what's the guy who he would do? He'd be like mocking the whole Illuminati stuff. And he was like, Illuminati confirmed, and it was showing all these rappers when they first started off. And then it showed them like how they became. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I know, Janina. You told me that last time. But I was asking Marcus if he saw it because I know I enjoyed it, at least most of it.
The House of Usher.
Yeah. What else did I watch? Damn, nothing. Basketball. LeBron had like 35 last night, B. I know they must be talking about him a lot in LA these days. He actually is balling and playing very well.
That's what it was called. Rappers who sold their souls.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let me click on it. I'll just show y'all a little bit of it. Hold on. I can just turn it down. That way it'll make it easier for me to find. I just click on it real quick and be able to pull it up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Go to my page and history. Damn it! No data. Get out of there. Damn it! Get out of there. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, excuse me. I say excuse me for a second. Just I knew whenever I go to my channel, I got this. I got to make sure probably change that. It just already just starts pre-talking.
Hmm.
It has a video, one of my suggested videos, I guess, up there, and it just starts. Damn it! Why does everything just keep? Okay, it don't want to act right, so I'm gonna just send it to you from my phone, and then you can play
Mm-hmm.
it. This
Where are
thing
you
does
gonna
not want to be.
Where are you gonna send it at?
I'll just text it to you.
Okay.
I figure that's faster. All right, I sent it. But this guy Tommy Craze, and I haven't seen him do any videos in a while, but he was like kind of mocking the whole, oh, this rappers are Illuminati connected, and but he would show these rappers like before they got signed and how much they've changed. Now, the nasty reds out there of the world making the pound towns, I think some of them just come from degenerate parents, and that's just who they are. That's just who they are. They have been so poisoned at such an early age that they're almost that's just what they're gonna be. I mean, the old church folks used to say, "Bless her heart, just bless
Yeah.
her heart."
Yeah.
But some of these people, this is not who they are, and the record industry is telling them to be like that. Perfect example, Pink, the rocker version. I remember a lot of black people, myself included, was like, "The heck is this whole rock stuff she doing now?" After her first album, and it comes out later on when
Mm-hmm.
in her first song she's like, LA made me. Yeah, LA Reid made her do R&B. She didn't want to do R&B albums. She wanted to do like pop rock kind of music. And so these record execs do something like, hey, if you want to make it, then you're going to play by our rules.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Did you just let me know you want me to play it?
Yeah, go ahead, you can play it.
Oh, okay.
You scroll down a little bit.
By catbeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
All right, let's do this. Rappers who sold their souls versus regular rappers. Someone sent me through this compilation. It's called Rappers Who Sold Their Souls versus Regular Rappers. I was like, God damn. Cool, nice, very cool. Yep, I got my garlic and my asparagus ready to fight up the demons. I Google searched the apparently demons are scared of garlic or some shit. Oh, is that Dracula? I don't fucking know, alright? I'm not a demon expert. I got some holy water just in case we get possessed. And yeah, man, let's do this. But first, here's the song of the day, yo. I got it.
I just won't move out the hood and say that we made it. Wanna move my mom over the hill cause them trenches dangerous. I don't give a fuck about no nigga and what they claim. statement. I just wanna turn up for my fans on top that stage, yeah. I just won't pick up a mic and put down that Drake, yeah. Mama tell me I need a change, but I say I can't, yeah. I don't fuck with niggas, they pussy, I'm in my lane, yeah. Thinking it's a game just like Gucci shots at your brain, yeah. I remember how.
So let's watch this fucking rappers who sold the soul versus regular rappers. Alright. I'm ready. I'm fucking ready.
Reaction time.
I was like, oh shit, get down. It's like, get down, get down. Oh shoot, you're muted.
No, I was saying that shit is wild.
Yeah, but like when you get into the video, oh, that wasn't even the video yet.
Oh,
is it past
was
the? No, it didn't even show nothing yet.
Oh shit. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, because when you get into it, like I remember one, it showed Lil Uzi Vert, and it showed how he was before, and then it showed how he was after, how his music changed after he got signed. Chris says they're getting aggressive with these ads. I mean, I don't watch ads anymore. That's probably why they be throttling my stuff back. Like, hey, wait a minute, you're a premium subscriber.
Yeah.
See, Kid Rock
facts.
went from wannabe inner city rapper with middle class rapper to redneck country singer to MAGA Southern Confederate rock. Yeah, ultimate grifter and fake.
Oh well, here we go.
I guess Kyle is a good family-friendly Christian man.
Fools like I live at Hooters. Off a Red Bull and a coffee. Bad ex office, niggas just copy. Told that bitch I got money. Hey, counting them hundreds is.
I mean, we all kind of knew this one already. I was expecting Lil Uzi to be a little demon. I mean, he told us he's gonna take us all to hell, man.
Obviously, all y'all motherfuckers going to hell. Right with me. So, let's get it.
We already knew this. Oh, Denzel Curry.
I'm not from Queens, but I'm with the Havoc. The holiest one, I might as well be the tennis racket.
That's
Silly
right.
rap-
Do your prayers, kids. Yeah, yo, hey, no cap, though. Topanga is the most demonic shit I've ever seen in my life, bro. So I agree with this, man. Trippy Red, straight summoning demons, man. I think I need some holy water for this shit. God damn. Oh, Scorpion, Illuminati confirmed. So Fuchsia is evil. Annalie Chopper is a good Christian family man, as we all know. This is cooked. Whoever made this compilation is so cooked. I need another pickle. Oh. Oh, he got the cross and fire behind him. Illuminati confirmed.
My son, this prenatal care. I'ma show him how to make it here and make it fair. Take it there, you should kill me and I ain't gonna care. You was just an echo away.
Alright. He might be a Christian man, but what about hot shower though? Hot shower? And you know what else is hot? Hell. He wants you to take hot showers so you're closer to the devil. I'm playing.
Spoke to the Baphomet.
Alright, that kind of gave me fucking chills, yo.
But yeah, that's the point which I was trying to show. I mean, he kind of mocks him a little bit, but
Lil Zen. I mean, we all know Lil Zen is the reincarnation of Jesus, man.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah, I mean, he in this version he mocked it a little bit, but in some of those where you see, it'll show that they was just like normal rappers, and then it went to let's talk about Satan stuff now, and it was a clear, you could tell a difference in their rapping style. Now he's making it like they were like heavenly and saints and all that. And maybe this is some of his stuff where they probably told him, hey, you need to tone it down. But some of his other videos, he's like, I don't know, that's a little sketchy, you know. But like some of the other videos, it was very, I don't know. I see they often do get to. I feel like they get to people, and people change a little bit.
You mean
I'll
from the
just leave it
first
at
time
that.
that they? You mean from the first time they sit in front of a camera to the 10th time they sit in front of a camera? That type of different.
I'm saying the difference between independent artists to sign to a major label difference.
Hmm.
That's what I've noticed. And uh majority of them, yeah, they might have been talking some street stuff and toting pistols and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
most people I know in the hood wasn't just randomly throwing Baphomet in their lines. That's not like a typical rap lyric.
It's really not.
And so it was a lot of stuff where you're like, okay, where are they getting this stuff? Because a lot of cats I knew in the hood don't even know about this stuff that they're talking about now. It's like somebody is feeding this to them and putting that in.
And yeah. So anyway, Marcus, we've been on like almost 3.5. Well, you've been on almost 3.5. Me probably like
Yeah, I need to put some food in my belly. So
yeah.
yeah, we could go
I
on
mean,
ahead and close it.
I ate earlier, but I actually hungry and I got the munchies and this little boy is sleeping, so I probably just
Yeah, tell them go catch a cow. You might have to eat something else in a little bit. You know?
we brought some food back, and he was like, "Oh, this is my food. Don't touch it. You'll eat my food. Don't touch it." So,
Well,
when
I
he was,
mean, from the picture I saw, I'm pretty sure you have somebody that can bring you a plate.
nobody could bring me a plate. Nobody could bring me a plate. Number one. Number two, you know how you get around it. There's a daddy tax. That's what you hit him with. It's either daddy tax or poison check. Right? Poison check. Let me eat all this food to make sure it's okay, because I don't want nothing to happen to you. That's always a good thing. That
They'd be like, "Dad, you ate it all. Go get you. Hey, I got milk and cereal in there."
Yeah, I better make sure. I'm just trying to make sure that it was okay for your system. So next time it comes back around, you can eat it. No, but usually it's the opposite way around. Like I buy them like the shit they like. I put my shit I like, my one little thing, my one little sour cream and onion chips that I like. Son, I come home from work, my shit gone. Y'all don't even care. Like, y'all, all my sour cream and onion, y'all had all that shit in there. Yeah, dog. This is why I don't like them.
Oh, I guess I'm my bad. I didn't even check over here. What's up, Shelly? We're getting ready to hop out of here, but Shelly swung by to say hello, and I see Elise
I
down there
wonder how
too.
much of our audience has children.
So let me read this real quick. It says, since the first day after the tragedy was announced, controversy has surrounded the death of rap and culture icon Tupac Shakur. And in this work, preeminent researcher on the topic, John Potash. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. But yeah, I mean, I definitely believe that. I think Diddy know more than he's saying, and I think it's a real good reason why he's giving all these people their masters and all that. It just seems interesting. It's like, okay, you already bumped off all the people you needed to, and now you're paying. Now you have the ends to be able to pay off the rest of them. And so you're either, for lack of a better word, it's almost like plato plomo.
Exactly.
They might not be necessarily getting the lead, but they're getting up out of here one way or another.
One way or the other. You understand? One way or the other. Marcus, I saw that President Xi was in your state, right?
Yeah, they cleaned up the Bay Area like real quick.
Son, they did the Bay Area. They did the Bay Area like they did the Bay Area here in Florida in 2000. What was that? 12 when the RNC came here, or was that 2008?
No, it's 2012.
Yeah. When the RNC went to Tampa for 2012, they got all the motherfuckers out of Tampa real fast. In that situation, they sent and brought them to St. Petersburg. I wonder where they put them.
but how you do that out here is even harder.
That's what I'm saying.
In the Bay, and people are like, well, if they could have done that real fast, then why come they can't do that all the time? It's the equivalent to a kid throwing all their clothes, like they said, go clean up the room, and they threw everything in the closet. That's all they did. They didn't fix everything. They didn't actually it's not like they fixed the problem. They just moved it to another part of town. It's like the same thing when the Super Bowl was here in LA. You think that Skid Row is gone? It's not gone. All they did was spread it out.
Correct. I saw them.
Now you got people under the underpasses and stuff. That's part of what happened with the fire with the up under I-10. So exactly what happened.
Trez, behave, Trez, but I feel you, Trez. I feel you. I understand you.
Yeah, I mean, out here in LA, you got homeless people just like literally everywhere. It's just random places. You'll be coming off the highway, and you like this is one homeless guy they talk about where he has like his homeless mini mansion where he's built it into like, and then there's another one where he got like wheels on his spot. And so if they start busting his case, he just move his setup. Then I've seen there's a homeless guy who he like renting out places in his homeless tent. Like it's wild out here. And then outside of those people, then you got all the people who are sleeping in their cars. You got a bunch of people who they working full time and they are homeless. Then occasionally you have people who they find out who are sleeping in storage units, because I mean, and that's the reason why storage units are as high as renting, some of these places, because they know people have tried to. I mean, mine when I was in Florida, that was what, $30 a month. That same storage unit out here would be like $800 a month. So
800?
Yeah.
800?
Yes. That same storage unit I had, that was air conditioned storage unit. It might have been what, 40, 45 or whatever at the time. Yeah, you're talking about hundreds of dollars for a storage unit.
That's beyond excessive. But again, it's less than the rent, and that's why people will just go by there and hang out and live there until they don't have to anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
but it sucks. It sucks whenever you're in that space where you don't make enough money to be like rich and shit, but you're not poor enough to qualify for anything. You gotta take care of everybody.
You know how many people out here rent somebody's couch?
Yeah.
Like they're like, okay, so just so if I could sleep on your couch at night, $500 a month, does that work?
Yeah. Yep.
That's like normal out here. It's normal to have like 4 people in basically a 2-bedroom who don't know each other. Like you don't know them at all, just a complete stranger. Y'all all renting. Y'all all renting that same spot for $400, $500 a month. So if you sitting on a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom apartment by yourself, people like, oh shoot. Oh, you doing all
Exactly.
right. You doing real
Yeah,
nice for
you
yourself.
bowling.
So
It's
you almost
called.
need a 2-income. You need a 2-income out here to even just have a 1-bedroom apartment.
Dog, you needed 2 income out here. Like it's to the point where where I would say 70,000 solo, no dependents is just enough for a modest or lower end vehicle and your living situation.
Yeah. I mean, South
Mm-hmm.
Florida though is, yeah. So out here, so people will know what I'm talking about. It's pretty normal to pay 2,000 for a 1-bedroom out here. That's pretty normal.
Mm. That's where it's about that here too. 18, 19, 1 bedroom. It's kind of wild, man. But anyway, hey, look, everybody who tuned in, we appreciate you guys sticking with us, commenting. We enjoy it. This is something we look forward to every weekend. We are a little rough and rough around the edges. We not always lined up. This shit ain't always crisp, but it's okay. It's authentic. You understand? We say what we feel. We mean what we say.
Yep.
We do try to share the information that we do try to share the information with everybody or with our audience. We're not here to mislead you. We're not here to misguide you. We don't want you to feel a certain way because we talk about certain topics. Because if you're here and you're supportive, chances are we share a similar thought. Maybe we disagree on certain things, but you're here and you return. So that tells us that we're going to agree more times than we're not. Yeah, we not. Yeah, man. Look, we're not doing it for anything. This is just what we have a passion for it. We just do. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Well, it's like I was telling Liz earlier. I said, I've been showing her like more information. She's been running across more of this stuff, and we were talking about the Bin Laden letter, and it's like once I have knowledge of some of this stuff, I can't just go back to wanting to oh yeah, in my spare time I want to go write screenplays. I can't go and just do that in good conscience.
Yeah.
I
No, you
need
can't.
to tell people yo, did y'all know this crazy ass shit is going on? I mean, it I'd have a guilty conscience of not trying to at least warn y'all of what the hell I see going on. You could be like, yo, you stupid, you crazy, none of that's gonna happen. So you just worrying for no damn reason. I'd rather be worrying for no damn reason and being overly cautious, and y'all be able see, you was tripping, you was worried about nothing. I would rather all of y'all be able to prove me wrong in that way. And then we could all laugh and have a beer or a drink or whatever, if I had the cash, mojitos on me. But I do it because I have a love for people in general. And I don't want to see nobody get railroaded by the crazy shit that's going on out there. So that's why part of why I do this and why we do this, and we do care about y'all in our own different way. So we see all of y'all as like our different, we care about the community as a whole, and that's just it. Oh yeah, by the way, I do want to plug one thing. My man Tease has just finished working on his compilation video of about culture. So for conspiracy synergy, make sure y'all go check him out. I'm not sure if he's released it yet or if he's only to a handful of us on the bid shoot, but make sure to check that out. if you have not seen it yet. But yeah, that's I guess where I'll leave it at. And now that he's released it, I will probably be uploading the 2 videos that I did. Well, they're already uploaded. I just gotta make them public. So one of them I don't think I can. I think it's I'll see how the copyright and stuff is and figure out which one I'll upload, and then or I might upload it to TikTok first and then
Hey, there you go. Do it
then
to
release it.
TikTok, then we could display it on the screen. This is TikTok content, and then
Well, one of it because I use I use some images from the Matrix in there. And I don't know if y'all seen on the TikTok I got into my Morpheus attire and mode. Oh, Chris, you saw them, didn't you?
What?
You saw the videos, didn't you? I think I sent them to you.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I just didn't send the latest one, the one that Tease had me do another one, and so y'all be seeing those soon enough. And that's it. Y'all have a good one. Thank you everybody for tuning in. All of our friends here on the YouTube side and on the Rockfin side, whether you came in early or you came in late or you'll catch us later on. Much appreciation to all of y'all who give us support and love, and be safe throughout this week and take care of each other. And make sure if you see something that is wrong going on out there, don't be afraid to speak on it. And don't be afraid to share information to each other out there so you can help them also. Because remember, at some point, we were all at a point where we didn't know this information and somebody needed to wake us up. And maybe you can be that person to wake somebody else up. So that said, this has been a Political Matrix. I am one of your hosts, Marcus Young Morpheus Cage, here with my brother, Mr. Cy Lawson. And y'all all have a good one. Much love to everybody.
Peace out.